Guys, grab a cup of coffee. We're in for a serious one because we need to analyze from A to Z in plain English what Chutes actually is, what are the miners doing, what are the advancements, what is the roadmap, the revenue model, how to make money with Chutes without potentially mining it. These are just theses that I'm exploring in the future because Chutes has serious products and services that we need to take advantage of. And right now, everybody's panicked, everybody's mad. The price has been crashing for over 400 days in a row, while all the internal metrics are going up. This is what I have been seeing on Twitter. And if you recall with what Jeff Bezos said right after the dot-com bubble burst, this is what he had to say.
The stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way. So we didn't need to go back to the capital markets. We didn't need more money. We already had the money we needed. So we just needed to continue to progress.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Chutes has a shot of having an Amazon moment after the dot-com crash because the people who invested in Amazon and kept believing in the company and studied the internal metrics, look at where they are now. The stock price probably, increased 100 or 1,000x, I'm not even sure, but they're really well off just because they made that simple decision. And I feel like Chutes has a shot with decentralized AI at the moment, especially with the US government, around a month ago banning Anthropic's latest model release. They made it unavailable for Claude Code users. So the market will kind of understand, in my opinion, that open source models are extremely important, and to use AI that isn't necessarily gate kept by a single entity and censorable and modifiable to the way a government or a community wants to. So in my opinion, Chutes is the next big thing. That's why it is my biggest position right now. Yes, I have been selling a lot of smaller subnets that are maybe a little bit more shady or risky plays for Chutes, because one guy tweeted something, Chutes is the new root, and I'm like, yo, Chutes has been crashing so much, it's down 85%, everything is up, all the internal metrics are up, so I can actually pocket 40% APY while holding a relatively low priced alpha for the #1 subnet. I'm like, okay, the risk reward really makes sense right here. Let me invest in Chutes and give you guys a full masterclass. So strap up. I'm going to remain in plain English, but we are going to understand exactly what Chutes is and see if there are any opportunities for us to profit, with that company, offering their stuff or just maybe even mining it. Let's get it. So guys, the main reason we're doing such a deep dive on Chutes is mainly because of the price. Everything is about the price, and right now it's screaming capitulation, and I want to see if we're at the forefront of, the next leg up, something like this, and we want to position ourselves somewhere here. And if you look at other subnets, Chutes is kind of at a price close to the other top subnets that do not have a glimpse of Chutes' customer base, revenues, products, or services. So I feel like holding Chutes paired with the APY, if you go to investors yield and type subnet 64, you're going to see that over the course of a year, Chutes gives us 40% compounded annually every single day. So your token balances will grow every single day just by holding Chutes for 40% a year. This is huge. This will potentially alleviate our buying price if we end up buying somewhere around here and it ends up crashing even lower. So I see this as a very good risk reward play because Chutes is massively down while having, better services, products, and more customers. So I maybe think that if it goes back to 0.2, it is going to be somewhere healthy. And as you can see, the midline retracement from the top is around sitting at 0.16. So in my mind, Chutes could easily go to 0.16 again, just based off of the internal metrics and a new hype, which can give us over a 2x gain, which I'm very interested, plus the APY. That's why if Chutes was over here at 0.3 or 0.4, with me understanding subnet mechanics and having studied Bittensor pricings, I wouldn't have even glimpsed at Chutes, or I wouldn't have taken the time to do this even though I'm very busy. So this is my mental model as to why we're doing this. All right, so I'm on Chutes' main webpage right now. And what is Chutes for you newcomers? It is basically Bittensor's biggest subnet, number 64. So breakthrough serverless compute for AI at scale. And you basically run open source models on decentralized compute, which are the miners. In very simple terms for you newcomers out here, if you're some kind of vibe coder or developer and you want to build an app that needs AI intelligence, some kind of AI integration, ChatGPT from OpenAI or Claude Code isn't the only AI available and API available, because they are very costly. Chutes is known to run open source models from miners around the world in their basements. So it's not one large data center, and you can have a wide variety of large language models that are all open source. They have their code open on GitHub for you to even clone or do whatever you want with it. And you have these miners running it on their own GPUs, which is very expensive, just so you can generate an API key in one click and integrate in whatever app you're building. So they're serving you raw open source AI intelligence. So you don't have the latest ChatGPT or Anthropic models on here. You have just open source community driven AI models that you can plug and play in a few seconds. All my Bittensor scripts in all of these channels, you see these summaries that are being ran, these alerts, these sales signals. The data is taken in, the data is took in and sent over to Chutes' API for a detailed summary with a prompt that I have laid out. So I am actually a Chutes user as a Bittensor enthusiast. So this is always a positive when it comes to investing. Do you in itself use the product? Do you find it hype, or you're just talking and spitting out gibberish? I am actually a user, a plus user. I pay $10 a month because I actually run a fair amount of inference through Chutes, because if I would have used ChatGPT or Claude Code, I would have paid a lot of money. So this is the main value prop for Chutes. Apparently they are 85% cheaper than ChatGPT or Claude Code. So through Bittensor's incentive mechanism and alpha token payouts, Chutes has managed to garner, miners with powerful computers around the world, downloading models and running them for people, making them accessible, making them hittable via API endpoints at scale as well. So this is something pretty impressive. So hope you understand for now. Leave a comment down below if you have a question or anything. And guys, side note, shout out to the front end developers of Chutes. This is such a neat and crisp, front page. As soon as you hover, the colors are fitting in so nice. I don't know, I just love it. And some of their features, it's fully private, something that, their CEO, John Durbin, has been very vocal about. They have Chutes Chat, so a simple chat interface that's completely free. And you can even bring your own code and host somehow your models on Chutes, and even make royalty off people using your model. So I do not completely understand how it works. That is the point of this video. We're going to figure it out. But as a developer, you can take a model, maybe make it better, fine tune it, and post it on Chutes for other people to use it. And based off of the usages and the runs that you see, so as you can see, almost 5 million invocations, you can actually earn money as a developer on Chutes without being a miner serving requests. So you see the invocations right here. So this is something we're very interested just to understand more how it works, because we really see that Chutes is a marketplace for open source models. But they do not only have that, you can generate via API images with Chutes. They have miners running 5 different models that generate images because it is not the same thing. You can generate videos with Chutes. You can have, I think, text-to-speech models. So you can see the pricing right here. 22 people used it. You can generate music. You can have embeddings. I'm not sure what that is. You can have content moderation. So for example, if someone posts a weird picture right here, I could have some sort of Chutes detector right here, understand pictures and possibly ban it before it's even sent, and all sorts of other things like PDF documents and whatever. As you can see, they're really working, they're expanding. I'm really loving it. So something that is obviously positive with Chutes is that their whole team is doxed and identified. These are very high quality, serious developers. You can go to this link right here and check all their social media profiles. The main person that garners hype and explains what Chutes is up to and their achievements is this guy right here, John Durbin. You can click on his X profile and parse through his tweets. As you can see, the guy is really a cracked developer, and he often speaks about decentralized training and building 100 billion model parameters in a decentralized fashion. And he wrote a full research paper on decentralized training, on how to achieve training a 1 trillion parameter model, which is called Parallax. And I suggest you guys parse through with AI his tweets and try to simplify them to really understand what type of research and development this guy is doing, because he's the main, I think he's one of the main developers for Chutes. And you're going to understand the value that Chutes is bringing. It's not only running open source models, they're doing a bunch more. All right, baby, the day is young. It's 10:49. We have a large video ahead of us, so let's start grinding directly. Where were we yesterday? So I think we left off as to what Chutes actually is, but let me give y'all a golden nugget that everyone should be doing to understand subnets faster when there's just too much information to parse through and just learn. You're gonna go over to Chutes right here and go down and right click, open their GitHub and open their documentation. Because the problem with prompting AI for niche stuff like Chutes, the AI pulls general information, doesn't have the exact answer, and generates AI slop, and you think you're advancing, but you aren't. So what we're gonna do is import all of the GitHub repos inside VS Code. So create a folder right here called Chutes Research and start by downloading their main repo right here, download zip, right here, boom. And actually we are going to place Chutes main miner into Chutes Research. And this is their main repo, this one right here, Chutes. We're actually going to download it as well. And we're also going to import the validator docs because we need to understand, how validators score miners, what's a good versus a bad miner, and things of that nature, because this represents how much alpha token rewards you're getting. I want to understand how it works. So boom, right now in Chutes Research, we have the API, the main, the miner main, but we also need these docs right here. So I don't even know how to download these docs quickly and efficiently. So let's just ask AI, how do I download all of these docs to put in a folder on my desktop? I need to open in VS Code. So I just learned something so freaking cool. I don't know, I found that really satisfying. Go to your computer's pathway where you have the folder open. For me, it's admin, OneDrive, desktop, and Chutes. And if you run this curl.x command, like the AI generated for me really quickly, on your terminal, as you can see, I ran it right here. In 1 second, the Chutes documentations are going to appear inside your folder in an MD file. And this is very important because it is basically context for your AI that he's going to retrieve information when answering for you and making the answers much cleaner, much sharper, and much more accurate and real. So once you have this nice Chutes documentation setup. You can open it in VS Code right here. I have so many videos explaining VS Code. And the only thing you need to do is click probably new window, boom, close that one. So click here, file, open folder, desktop, Chutes research, select folder, boom. We just have all the Chutes documentations and docs. Look at all this context that the AI is going to get. We have all their GitHub repos so the AI can, go dig in certain folders and give us concrete, concise information. So click the little Claude emoji right here. It's going to open a chat. And you need to authenticate your Claude via the VS Code terminal. I'm not going to show how to do that. I have so many videos, but it takes a few seconds. You just need to log in and click authorize on Claude web app. Okay, so type slash and keep your effort around high so it thinks through enough, and keep thinking on, and switch your model to 4.8. They don't have the latest models. I do not know why, but just 4.8 recommended is fine. So we don't burn through our tokens. Close that. And let's get to prompting. So when I was speaking with AI, the other day, these are the talking points that I figured are interesting for us to understand. You already imported the document, so copy that. And let's just feed it to the AI. Boom. Add in that I want to understand how validation for miners works on Chutes. Simply put, remain in plain English, use analogies to keep it simple. I am a Bittensor Tau holder and I am looking to understand what Chutes is. Is it a quality subnet for me to invest in long term? And maybe even broker Chutes' models and services to companies later on when I understand the subnet on a deeper level. It's very important we say that to AI because we're studying Chutes, but in my mind, everything I do, every hour, minute, second, I pour into these subnets. I'm always thinking, how can I make money without necessarily mining it? Because it is extremely competitive and I'm not a 25-year developer. Maybe if we can switch over to local companies and reduce their AI build costs, that could be something pretty interesting for us as, a Chutes broker. So I just said that to the AI so he understands my vision, my goals, and tell him to remain in plain English or else you're gonna get lost in the sauce. What is a plan to understand all of that step by step, one at a time? Start with the glossary in the README so I understand words like Chutes, chords, Kubernetes, and all of these in plain English. Let's see what he spits out. So right now, the difference is that he's looking at these files based off of my prompt. That is the main advantage. All right, guys, so I did not really like the way AI was answering. It was hallucinating a lot. It wasn't precise. I was still having a bunch of questions after, it outputted me. So I decided to make a Claude.md file. This is something that's easily configurable. Claude handles everything, but you can put guardrails in a file like this. You can pause the screen and read a little bit what I'm up to and my goals and what we're trying to achieve for this video, so the AI knows for every input or question you ask him, it's going to refer to these set of rules. So you need to write it exactly as is, Claude in caps .md, and these are going to be your new guardrails. And video dash outline MD, I wanted to make it as brain dead as possible. We're gonna go square by square, and when it's done, we're gonna put a little X just to indicate to the AI that we're done with that. And it's going to be split into parts so everything stays neat and organized, because it is pretty tough to learn and film at the same time. I'm actively doing it, But this is a cool trick you guys could do with this file right here when you research difficult subnets to control the way AI answers you. Paired with the documents and the GitHub repos, you should get good information fast. So right now we need a high-level overview of how the subnet architecture works between the subnet owner, miners, and validators, and how these players interact with each other to understand the underlying workings of this subnet to potentially mine one day or even offer their products to other people. So I prepared a little prompt. I want plain English explanations of the three players. And I want to understand how technical do you have to be to plug in a Chutes miner, maintain it, restart it, make sure that you're competitive enough. What skill sets do you need to have as a miner? And what determines if a miner beats another miner, assuming they have the same amount of compute, both of them, because I want to understand how rewards are routed from the validators to the miners, because this is something very important for all subnets. You need to understand how you are getting paid to be a good miner, because if you look on Tau stats at the metagraph for Chutes, there's about 15 miners earning incentives, and the top miner is earning 30% of the whole alpha emissions right now, and the bottom miner is earning around 1% of the emissions. And right now, Chutes has 2% of the whole network emissions, and miners split around 200 tau per day. So 215 times 215, because that's the price of tau actually. Boom, 46 grand a day for all Bittensor Subnet 64 miners. This guy earns 30% of this float, so he's earning around 15 grand a day. So this guy is running a huge operation. We need to understand what this guy might be doing that's so much more than this guy. If it's something else than just raw compute, maybe this guy has some kind of basement with 30 GPUs, we don't know. Okay, so how Chutes works: owner controls, validators check, miners work. The subnet owner Chutes team, so Rayan Labs, the people we saw earlier, they have a lot of day-to-day coding and operations to do. They make the rules and run the marketplace. They don't touch a single miner GPU. They ship code to the validators and they make new NPI endpoints, features, tweaks, bugs, everything you can think of, and listen to miners. They onboard new AI models to the catalog, so Qwen 3, DeepSeek, etc. So they make them compatible. They probably, make the Docker templates, the images, and make everything easy and plug and playable for the miners or people that want to deploy, private Chutes. So land customers and partnerships. So Chutes obviously wants more developers like me querying the models so they earn more, and partnerships with companies that have they themselves users that need AI inference. And Chutes would plug with the enterprise under the hood without even mentioning to that app's users. So if a user starts questioning a chatbot or whatever, they wouldn't even know it's powered by Chutes' miners around the world. And these enterprises, they're incentivized to plug into Chutes because it's 85% cheaper than OpenAI and Anthropic. So probably they had a really hefty AI bill. Chutes approaches them, their marketing and sales people, and they land a contract. So this gives more jobs to miners, more demand, and just more revenue throughout. The subnet owners also decide the incentive rules, how miners get paid, how miners, take up bounty tasks or they get jobs routed to them. This is the job of the subnet owner. So they're the Uber head office. They don't drive, they write the app, set the fair rules, and sign up riders. Riders are the miners. The miners, the human behind the PC, day to day. Here's the honest truth from the repo. Once it's set up, this is mostly handoff. So this is a super good thing to know, guys. I'm pretty sure in 6 to 12 months, I'd be able to spin up my own Chute miner, even though I'm not making money. Just the general experience interacting with the Bittensor network and interacting with Chute gateways and just plugging in stuff for Chutes and seeing a little bit of alpha going into your miner hotkey is really motivating. So if it's hands off, I might try it in a few months. I'll film it for sure. So they would glance at the dashboard, Grafana. Are my GPUs online or busy? So add a new server, maybe add a node. So one miner can have one UID key, but run many different nodes with GPUs attached to that node, so they could have more jobs and more compute routed to their miner key. As you can see, this guy accumulated 2,000 Chutes tokens. This guy accumulated 47. You can sell those off with a simple BT-CLI command, but you see how much they've earned here and how much emissions they earn per tempo, which is 72 minutes. So this guy earns 45 alpha tokens per 72 minutes times 15, so almost $1,000 per hour. Tune the strategy file, so Geppetto, to grab more jobs. You're gonna be able to run some kind of optimizations or tweaks that I'm not sure yet, but in this file to actually have better bounties, more jobs, better scaling. And I think this is going to positively affect the way you get paid. So in the Geppetto.py file somewhere here, I'm not gonna fetch it because it's buried too deep under. So validators, how they actually score miners. The validator is a secret shopper with a stopwatch grounded in the README. The goal of mining on Chute is to provide as much compute as possible, optimizing for cold start times, running new applications or applications that have been preempted. Everything is automated with Kubernetes and coordinated by the Geppetto Py script to optimize for cost efficiency and maximize your share of compute. This is crazy. It feels like Chutes really coded with their extremely complex repo, everything for the miners, and they just need to plug in, provide the compute. Chutes literally has the blueprint for them. So from my beginner experience for now, interacting with Chutes mining and miners is basically command line interface interactions. Doesn't seem that hard because they have extremely detailed documentation. So anything you need, you can go chutesai/docs, and they have, as you see on the sidebar, all the possible questions you can ask for: SDK, CLI commands, examples, how to optimize your stuff, guides, agents and tools, templates. Everything is there pre-coded for them so you can understand what you're doing. It is insane until now. So validators prove the GPU is real, measure real compute that the miner delivered, and pay bounties for being first. So when a new app is needed, so if someone wants to run something private, I believe, whoever spins it up and serves it first gets a bonus. This is called a bounty. So miners can configure that as well. Sum it up over 7 days. Your score is a 7-day rolling total of compute. That total sets your weight, which sets your alpha payout. Pretty similar to other subnets. Validator gives you weights, total weights equals total payouts. We don't need to know the exact scoring formula. This is buried deep inside of the code. Is mining really hands-off? Setup equal technical, running equal mostly hands-off. Setup medium hard. Run servers pretty easy. Edit to config files very easy. Run the automated Ansible scripts most likely easy, and regging on a Bittensor subnet seems easy. I've done it so many times, so this is pretty positive as of for now. Running easy, watch a dashboard, add servers occasionally, and winning equals hard. Outthink other mining by tuning Geppetto. So something's really interesting with this Geppetto file. Maybe in a few months I would have to check it deeply. Realistic knowledge miners needs. Comfortable in a terminal. I'm already good with this. I've shown it so many times in my videos. You do not need to be a hardcore dev to run a miner. The scripts do the plumbing. This is perfect and everything is done already according to the repo. You do need real skill to be a top miner. That's the Geppetto strategy game. Damn, that sounds interesting. What does setup actually look like? Inventory YML file. You list your servers, IPs. So that sounds pretty easy. Values, setting like cache size. Here's how I want them configured. Do miners tweak files? Yes, here's exactly where. So these are some golden nuggets for the future, guys. So accepting jobs, these lines. This is another critical important method to optimize. You don't want to blindly accept jobs and preempt your existing deployments, most likely. But there are benefits to accepting them. You get a bounty, compute multiplier is semi-dynamic and may provide more compute units. Nice. Okay, so the Geppetto file is right here on the left-hand side under Chutes miner. So this is something we're gonna have to look at maybe later on. Strategy hook. This is where you want, as a miner, to customize your strategy. Boom. So we have something here that we can run with AI in the future, again, in that same file, picking the cheapest server. Cheapest first, best fit. All right, so here's a few lines for you guys to check as well. And this is to spread your job loads differently in the section right here. It's fine-tuned to 2. You can tweak it as well. What's a good versus a bad miner? This is the punchline. So a good miner would do all of these things, have better uptime, discipline his cost. He would be the first to race to bounties. So when someone needs a specific model that is cold, he would get it first and rewrite to the Gepetto file. So bad miner, always late, waste expensive GPUs, offline, slow to load. So these types of things. So the subnet owner writes the rules, miners plugs in the GPU, brings the compute, and mostly is on autopilot. And validators are secret shoppers. They verify the GPU is real, measure compute over 7 days, and pay bounties and pay out for alpha. So a little bit of statistics speaking about mining, because you guys need to understand how to interpret these tables. Currently, there's over 4,000 different GPUs running on Chutes. So you can see that the miner network and just people plugging into Chutes to serve inference is growing. That's always good to see, all while the price is crashing. This is a perfect example of an internal metric flipping positive. And we can see that the miners are running 3 types of NVIDIA GPUs, and these others are all at 0. I do not know exactly why. Probably they are very unprofitable to run or not compatible with what people need. If you have a miner, you can look it up right here and see your statistics. You can obviously connect and enter your hotkey. The leaderboard, we see the guy that earns 30% of the incentive. He's right here, and there's only 15 different miners, guys. So if y'all spin up a Chute miner, you are pretty rare in this world. And you can see that this guy is running 256 different instances and has a bounty score of 25, much higher than the first miner, running much more open source models, but for some reason his compute units and his instance seconds are down much more than the first guy. This guy seems really well optimized and most of the jobs run through him, even if this guy is working really hard. That's the name of the game. He's probably optimized somehow with the Gepetto file and other things. We have the payment section right here, and we can see Chutes raking in 15 grand a day and over $1 million in 90 days. We just need some sort of mental model to see how much these miners spend, because the alpha token is crashing. Maybe the miners are dumping and that's why Chutes is going down so much since 400 days. But I'm sure with a good news and open source models taking over, this can rocket sky high very fast, assuming it's only priced in at 84 million and fully diluted at 300 million. This is nothing, guys. For a company that freaking grosses over $1 million in 90 days, you're telling me that a $300 million market cap is a lot? This is nothing, guys. So in my opinion, this is completely possible to turn around these levels at 0.2 once again. Once the market realizes that Chutes was heavily undersold, that Tau wasn't known, and was just a result of miners dumping, in my humble opinion. Obviously, it's not financial advice. So yeah, learn to read the tables. I explained it a little bit right here. And utilization, if you are a dev or you're spinning up something and the utilization is over like 75 or 80%, it is going to turn red like this one right now. So you can see that the people are really hot into using GLM, and your model might get errors 503. You won't be able to use it. You won't get your answers back for the API calls that you're making. So you can set up model routing to use many models, with if statements if one is really utilized. My favorite ones are Kimi K2.6, and right now the utilization is pretty good. Scale allowance basically is Chutes pre-configurations telling the miners, are you allowed to spin up more copies of this model or not? This goes up and down with the supply and demand. So for example, this one instances 24. Chutes allows up to 29 copies. So there's enough demand for Chutes to say, hey, miners, you can spin up 5 more copies of this one based off their internal metrics. Another very interesting chart. So Chutes in the last year has served over 34 trillion tokens, guys. A token is around 3/4 of a word. So if you type hello, it's around 1 or 2 tokens. So people typing in and out of the AI models, Chutes has served 33.3 trillion tokens. And they're averaging 40 billion tokens a day, and they're projected to earn $5 million. Actually, year to date, they've earned around $5 million at an average of $14,000 revenue per day, which we saw earlier. So you can see that we have a nice steady growth of revenue. This is what I like to see. So a metric like this simply does not represent bad price action like this. It just screams a buying opportunity for me. That's the way I see it. Very simple. You can see user count year to date, last year, July 8, 2025. We had 400,000 users. We almost doubled our user base to almost 800K. This is insane. And guys, this is actually the killer line. Monetization, revenue per trillion LLMs token served. So this in simple terms means how much money does Chutes make when they serve 1 trillion tokens. So right now they are making almost 300 grand for every 1 trillion tokens Chutes serve. And last year, like literally the proof is in the pudding, they were making $25,000 for 1 trillion tokens served. So they just 10x'd their revenue monetization and their revenue efficiency because they were making only 25K compared to 250K for the same 1 trillion tokens served. So if this doesn't scream company remodeling, company efficiency, new pricing mechanisms, all while it still remains relatively cheap for me. Like they didn't jack up the prices by 10x for me. It's still extremely cheap, but somehow they've 10x'd their freaking profit margins over a simple year. So I'm very impressed with this chart. It really solidifies why I'm holding this alpha token. Perfect. So we actually understood what miners tweak for the future. That was very important. What validators do, what miners do. It's pretty hands-off. You just need to connect, and what the subnet owners do on a day-to-day basis. This was really insightful as of for now. Put the X for me on the box and continue with the next one in. Continuing with the analysis, I wanted to touch on an important nuance. Everybody talks about decentralized AI, Chutes is decentralized, Bittensor is decentralized, but I really wanted to get to the bottom of this, related to Chutes. So I compared it to Bitcoin. So Chutes is decentralized where it counts the compute. So miners around the world, yes, they are dispersed in different countries, continents. It's not a single warehouse with all the compute and a single entity. At least Rayon Labs, I think, is not like a traditional company. It's like a non-profit organization of devs that do open source contributions. I think it's stated as something like this. So at least it's not a single person or entity with a clear CEO hierarchy. But yeah, it is decentralized where the compute is, but the coordination layer, the Chutes webpage, the marketplace, what tells miners what to do, how to plug in, the actual gateway is centralized. So if governments wanted to close down Chutes, they don't like what they're doing, they could, with a little bit of effort, close all the railings and the websites, and just the code would remain open source, so someone would pick it back up eventually. But in an instant, the miners could go dark, and the analogy would be Chutes are like Uber drivers. So Chutes miners are like Uber drivers. They own the cars, which are the GPUs. But if Uber headquarters switches off the app, the car still exists, so the GPU still exists, but they can't mine, they can't drive for anybody, they can't serve tokens because, I can't call them via the Chutes API gateway, it can't reach the miners, etc. So There is a centralized and a decentralized component to Chutes, something you need to understand. So when you throw off these decentralized AI buzzwords, you still kind of need to understand at least what it means. So let's see what we touched on. All of these points right here: setup and foundation, miner counts, total Chutes emissions, how much miners actually make. We saw that, how validators grade miners, all of these points right here we saw. I guess we're gonna go with these ones right here maybe. We're gonna see. Next up, let's go. Let's keep pushing. So let's get at least a simple beginner-esque mental model as to how to start your miner, because we want to learn this subnet on a deeper level. Because if you're offering Chutes inference, or you're brokering it, or you're mining for data centers, you need to know these things. You never know how information might serve you later on. So the goal of mining on Chute is to provide as much compute as possible, optimizing for cold start times. So Chutes wants us to be able to fetch models that aren't available, running new apps that have been preempted. Everything is automated with your Kubernetes and coordinated by Geppetto script to optimize for cost efficiency and maximize your share of compute. So like I said, so the AI was right. Chutes literally automated everything for you. Most likely you need to do only small tweaks. Incentives are based on total compute time, including bounties. You should probably run a wide variety of GPUs, from cheap A10s to very powerful 8 H100s. Never register more than one UID, what we saw on Taostat, so each of these is one person getting the rewards, since it will just reduce your total compute and you will compete with yourself pointlessly. Just add capacity to one miner. All right, so mining setup, realistic POV beginner. Let's get ourselves a little mental model as to what is needed to be done to actually buy the GPU, connect, talk with all sorts of networks. That is the whole point. I want to just picture it. I'm not going to do it, but that's why we're studying this, to maybe if I mine for other people or large data centers in a day, I'll be more prepared. So do people rent or buy GPUs usually? Rent, 90% of beginners do that, because if you buy it upfront, 8 graphic cards of H100s cost 250K, guys. So I'm sure we are going to rent. So if we go to liam.io, H100, so just one is $2.24 per hour. So 2.24 times 8 times 24. If you rent 8 H100, it's going to cost you $500 a day. So the ROI on them is almost 2 years. So that makes sense. 250K, it does make sense. Where do you actually rent these GPUs from? Because I have no idea. Latitude.sh, Mass Compute, Hyperstack, Nebius, AWS. Not these ones. These are shared IPs, and Chutes rejects them. You need a dedicated IP per node, I believe. All right, so your actual server with the CPU requires these things, these specs, and it doesn't cost too much. And then GPU nodes, a mix of cheap and powerful ones. A variety is always good. Each GPU box needs its own dedicated public IP. So do we need an IP provider? This is something we're gonna have to check as well if you end up mining. How you connect as a beginner, the actual moment. So the provider emails you an IP address, you log in, you SSH. Boom. What is Ansible? Dumbed all the way down. Setting up one server by hand equal 50 fiddly commands. Setting up 5 equal misery. Ansible is a robot assistant that logs all your servers at once and runs all 50 steps for you from a single list you wrote. So boom, Ansible playbook. This is something Chutes provides as well. And I think you have to tweak those to tell Ansible how to set up your miners. Robot, read my list of servers, set up every single one identically. You type one line, it does hours of work across every machine. This is crazy. What does what? Human versus robot job. Run the server, obviously it's us. Write the server, run Ansible command, register on the subnet, tune in the Geppetto strategy brain, watch the dashboard. So what's automated as a Chutes miner? You claim the bounties automatically. When there's a cold model, it picks it up automatically. This is very interesting. Getting jobs routed to you is automatic. Scaling up or down on the utilization page we saw is automatic as well. Pulling AI model images, verifying GPUs are real. This is done by the validators, and installing Kubernetes, WireGuard, and a database as well. Everything reacts automatically according to the Chutes GitHub repo and the pre-built file. So this is amazing. Y'all can see that Rome was kind of pre-built for us miners, and shout out to John Durbin and his whole team, because they've really made it at least understandable for a beginner like me, which sounds really crazy. 3 years ago, this wouldn't even have been possible. How is your Chutes miner reachable? Yes, it was confusing for me actually. Your miner does not open a public front door. Instead, your GPU nodes sit at their public IPs waiting. So our GPU has some code and an open WebSocket that waits probably. Chutes validator connects into them directly on random ports that we have opened. Your miner also dials out to Chutes over a permanent phone, like I said, WebSocket. A few cool commands you'd actually type. So this is just the SSH. You run the Ansible playbook, subnets register, Chutes miner add node. So this is the command you type just to add an extra GPU when you buy a new one and you want to scale your operations. Show me all my machines, so that's kubectl, and what's running right now, get pods. So the whole point of view in one breath. I rent a few bare metal GPUs from any provider, SSH into them in my laptop, run one Ansible command that builds the entire miner across all of these nodes. I register on subnet 64, this is super easy. Tune the Gepito file and flip it from there. It's automatic. The validator connects to my GPUs, jobs flow in, and I watch a dashboard. I'm not in a basement, I'm renting kitchens across the world and managing them from my couch. All right, guys, this is crazy. I tried calculating this top miner's expenses. Let's do some simple maths with me. So H200 and Pro 6000, this guy has 136 H200s and 77 Pro 6000. So let's try to find them on Subnet 51 Liam and try to do some simple multiplication and try to do some simple maths to see how much this guy pays hypothetically if he were to rent all of them. So can we search something? H200. Holy shit. Okay, so 8 of them cost $52 per hour. So he has 136 divided by 8 times 52. Oh my god, this guy's paying 1,000 an hour for his H200s. And Pro 6000, he has 77 of them. Pro 6000. Let's say it's these ones. So 8 of them costs $8, so $1 an hour per Pro 6000. So $77 per hour plus $884 per hour times 24. Holy shit, man, that's 23,000 a day in GPU compute. Does that make sense? Incentive daily, he's earning 66 tau per day. 66 times 215, 14,000. Okay, so this guy is unprofitable. I do not know why is he still running? What is the economic incentive? So the top miner is unprofitable right now because Chutes is $15. Let's run some more math. So if Chutes would go to 0.14, Chutes would effectively be $30 per tau. So he's earning 910 Chutes per day. So 0.14 times 910, 127 tau times 217. So this guy would need either tau to double or Chutes to go to 0.14 right now for this guy to be a little bit profitable. His profit would be 27 grand and his expenses would be 23 grand. So you can see that Bitcoin mining and Chutes mining are really similar. The top miner is unprofitable right now. If we divide 14,000 divided by 23,000, his mining revenue is covering around 60% of his GPU expenses. So I don't know exactly what's the deal. Is he mining for the future? Is he mining to lose money for fun? I do not understand completely what is the deal with Chutes at the moment. Maybe this is an indicator that the token price is massively undervalued. And as you can see, the top miner should at least cover the production cost. So in my opinion, Chutes should be 0.14 at a minimum to justify why the top miner is working so much. He needs to be in profit, in my opinion. So I got so curious that I even decided to tweet about it. We'll see what the community says. Let's just copy that and send it over to AI and ask him to try to, answer this for us. Can you try to answer this for me? Simply put, the only thing I can think of is that his GPUs aren't online 24/7 and he isn't built 24/7. So this isn't a good indication. A top miner would want his GPUs busy and online 24/7. If you turn them off, it cuts your score because you wouldn't be ready for the cold starts. Is his cost per hour is 5 to 10x lower than the rental sticker price because he owns the metal. Oh, maybe. Maybe he has all these GPUs since a while back. Maybe it's a mini data center. We don't know. Owners, cheap power miners, still very profitable, like the 2,800 a day dollar guy. Rentals, the ones that are renting, are underwater today, getting squeezed out. Exactly like Bitcoin. When price crashes, the miners with expensive power shut off first, and the lowest operators survive. So according to AI, Chutes needs to increase by 64% for renters to be break even, which isn't that bad. Like I said, 64% is like barely 0.12 or something, 1.64 times the current price. Yeah, like Chutes needs to go to this price for it to be a bit more profitable and interesting, which I think is an easy milestone for us. Now, guys, let's keep freaking pushing. Let's study the products even more. We're going to see what's up with Chutes agents, all of these things right here. But I want you to just start understanding how to read the main model page, because this is what I started with and you need to understand what you're doing. So if you need to generate images, you need to click here. If you need videos, if you need speech, if you need these things right here. But the main one is people want cheap answers from AI, and you have the open source models right here. So you have a wide variety of models. If you want peak intelligence, just go to Kimi K2. It's probably cold right now. It's not even showing. This is actually crazy. Let's search it up. Kimi, it's actually they changed the logo. So yeah, Kimi K 2.6. Let me show you how to read this page. So first of all, there's 7 active instances. This means that there's 7 GPUs that are running Kimi K 2.6 copies that are all sharing requests and serving the developers like me. You need this GPU node to actually run Kimi K 2.6 according to Chutes documentation. Otherwise, you don't have the specs. And by Chutes means that it's Rayon Labs that actually deployed that chute and they maintain it, available, callable publicly via API. So for you guys that know a little bit more about LLMs and machine learning, you can click open weights and you can click llms.txt. This is basically the whole information about the model. You can dump it in AI for whatever you're trying to build or run, or if you're trying to deploy your own Chutes privately, the AI will know all the specs of the model. And this is basically the weights, the open source machine learning that people did, which was community driven. And as you can see, you can download the model and run it on your own computer if you have the specs. You can download the model directly from Hugging Face. This is like the machine learning place for developers. 100,000 people downloaded it and they don't want to use it via API with Chutes. They want to run it on their own machines, on their own graphics cards, whatever the case is. So this is just a place to get extra information. You can fine tune it, take it where it's left off, and just modify the parameters, use it for yourself. Right here, FP8, it's not too important and it's public, so it's hittable via API. And when you see TEE, it means that your model is fully private. Whatever you input right here and whatever it outputs right here, nobody can see it. John Durbin can't log it. It's fully encrypted at the chip level via special code and trusted execution environment. 66 cents in means per 1 million tokens that you send, hey, how are you? It's going to calculate the tokens right here. And when you reach 1 million tokens, which is around 750,000 words sent into the AI, it is going to bill you 66 cents. And per million tokens, what the AI spits you out, usually answers are between like 300 to 500 tokens. It's super short. Is going to cost you $3.50. So if the AI spits you out 1 million tokens, so 750,000 words, it is going to cost you $3.50. So right here you can, this is my subscription, I'm logged in. I have 2,000 requests per day. They don't bill me pay as you go. You can prompt whatever you want. Hey, how are you? And just run it. And you are going to get an answer right here in a sandbox playground. This is on Chutes' front end. This right here, don't touch it. Just keep it at chat completions. Hey, I'm doing well. You have all your statistics right here. The API right here is for you developers that have, VPS services that you're connected in your VPS. Boom, you SSH root at your IP. You can build PyFile scripts and call it, if you click the Python section is the most popular one, you can call Kimike 2.6 with this right here. It is very important you understand this. You just dump it in AI. He's going to generate you an API call that works. A request format that works. AI at this point is extremely smart, but understand this page at least. I use this Python code example. And statistics, very important. So input tokens is averaging a little under 1 billion tokens per day. Output tokens, it's averaging, as you can see, much less, 100 million, because it's the output tokens that matter. This is per week. Tokens throughput. So if speed is something important for you, you need to watch these metrics. Are you a signal trader? Are you a quant analyst? Are you someone that wants answers fast for a specific reason? Tokens throughput performance, tokens per second. It says it right here, 50. It can spit you out 50 tokens per second. Time to first token, usually it takes around 3 seconds for after you type an answer for it to output you something. Expected pay-as-you-go revenue. So it is expected only this model to generate around $1,000 per day for Chutes, and total amount of runs, API calls per day, actually around 50 to 100,000 per day, 400K in 1 week. Utilization, you need to utilize these models when they're in the green area, because if they spike to 90 and 100%, you won't be able to get your answers back. If you have any complex applications or applications that manage customers, money, wallets, insights, your users won't be able to get what they chat through or whatever you're building. So it says it right here, 90% plus, maxed out, too many people requesting it. And honestly, it's a good problem to have. I've had this problem with Chutes, but they've invented a tool that I'll be showing you soon, where you can just route your model in a single click and you're never going to have this issue. So these are the deployment templates. Probably I do not know what they mean, but with AI, once it's time to mine, they specify the hardware that you need. So this is pretty cool. So this is a general idea of how to read the most important page, the model page, and you can set your pricings right here, but generally there aren't too many, so just click LLM and you can browse through them all. Right here you have all of your account settings, so usage. You can click here to model routing. This is one of my favorite features that they've coded a while ago. So as you can see on the right hand side, actually the left hand side, I've selected these models to go one by one. If the model is overutilized, Chutes configured something on their front end, and my request is going to get routed to 4 different models. So I make sure that I always get an answer. Even if it's overutilized, it's going to use another version of Kimi K2. It's going to use DeepSeek. And finally, Qwen. The only thing you need to do is change the model string inside of your VPS code to this. So every model has like a little slash after it or a little comma, and it's going to, you can just copy the model string, put it on your Py file code, any API call, and it's going to route properly. Or you can even type default actually. You can even, so there's the example right here, model, you can just list many and it's going to call them. This is super neat. It wasn't, around a while ago. This is pretty new. As you can see, it's active for me because I always need my answers. For all my Discord toolings, all of these channels right here are all connected to Chutes and we need real-time information. You can see your billing, your usages right here. Total runs in a week, I've had 800 runs almost, and I'm subscribed to the pro package, so I have 2,000 API calls per day, and I don't even think they charge me for the amount of tokens I input on every prompt because I run complex scripts. So I even think Chutes is losing money on me, to be honest, because I'm heavily using it and I barely pay $10 a month. But yeah, here you can see your subscription usage, your daily cap in USD, your 4-hour cap. So I'm still good to go. So another big part of Chutes that you need to understand is custom Chutes. Custom Chutes, your model, your compute, your API. So literally like I was saying with the SDK that speeds everything up, this page is where it's at. So if you need privacy, if you're a health medical clinic that wants to run some AI workloads, Chutes makes it literally one clickable with the SDK and their ready-made framework. And they have all these little buzzwords that you have to study on this page, like proprietary weights. Nobody watches your weights. Nobody logs you what you're doing. It's completely private. So if you want to not be a DevOps engineer, like I said, this page right here is for you. And the pricing is obviously very different because you actually pay for the GPU type that you use. A miner needs to serve it. So you actually need to talk to Chutes sales to deploy and start paying your own, as you can see, custom sales, contact sales, sorry. And yeah, if you want to deploy something, there is a process to it. There's not many people that do it. So they are going to give you a pricing over emails. It's not something that's, plug and playable because you're doing big things. So deploying a Chute is putting your own AI model into Chutes GPU so it becomes live callable service. So let's say you're a fine-tuning company and you want to set up a testing environment and you want to, before open sourcing your model, you want to test it out, or you're building your own AI for your own businesses. This is what deploying a Chute is for instead of becoming a DevOps engineer. The SDK was the tool, deploying is the act of hitting publish. Mining is you earn money for providing GPUs. Deploying is you spend money and you pay these miners to rent those available GPUs and the models you want with the specifications you configured in your node selector. Is it profitable? No, obviously. You pay the real hourly rate only while your instance is hot, loaded, and ready, plus a short idle cooldown. The billing example. So deployment fee, 3 times 50 cents, $1.50, and 5 minutes serving, 5 minutes idle cooldown, 158. Using and you use it again for 5 minutes, only 8 cents more. So you control the hardware and costs when you deploy your own Chute. So that's pretty interesting. Upload your model. So boom, deploy your Chute, launch a private model with infrastructure, your own custom quotas. Chutes is going to give you an URL API endpoint that you can call via your command line interface. It is actually insane. So people that do machine learning and things like that, this section is really worth it for them. This isn't related to mining or things like that, but for investors, we need to know that this feature exists. Hey, maybe one day I'm going to be someone that brokers, custom integrations for companies or sets their things up for them for a fee. Maybe negotiate prices with Chutes. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. So who should deploy? A company with a fine-tuned model? They train the custom model on their legal documents, not for the public catalog. A firm with private sensitive data, they want it in a TEE vault and not sent, maybe customer data to OpenAI or Anthropic because they have legalities to follow. Anyone wanting something serverless, does it want to own or babysit a $30,000 GPU 24/7? So that's I hope you guys understood what deploying a Chutes is. It took me so long to understand this section of the website, to be honest, and I still am a beginner at it, but I will study this page over and over again and see how I can build offerings with this. I don't know. I feel like something is possible for me to make money in that realm without necessarily being a miner. Maybe hitting up local companies that want privacy and evaluating their, freaking AI infrastructure at the moment and seeing if I can flip it over serverless to Chutes, saving them a bunch of time and DevOps salaries, or I don't know. So a simple breakdown of what the SDK is for. An SDK is a toolbox of ready-made building blocks so developers can build something without making every part from scratch. SDK is a software development kit. So you pip install Chutes on your terminal, just like is. Pip install Chutes, register, pip deploy my Chutes. In a few lines, you can deploy something privately. You import the nice and ready-made pieces like Chutes, chords, images, node selectors. So if you wouldn't have had a SDK, you would need to run 9 very difficult steps to deploy your own Chutes and start interacting with your private models. As you can see, rent the server, install NVIDIA drivers, Docker stuff, web servers, authentications, Kubernetes encryptions, babysitting. With the SDK, you write 6 simple lines. You config your Chutes VLM build for what you want. So this model, your username, and your node selector. So this is just the config. With 6 lines, you replace all these 9 steps. So it's right here. They've made it easy for you, and they even give you key features and examples as to how to do things. This is something you can definitely dump into AI to speed things up if you're someone that needs serverless AI. So this is another cool feature. As you can see, from studying Chutes, I didn't even know all these things, but they really made a good job to pre-package everything for even beginner developers to literally dump the documents in AI and make stuff work. I actually have a shot in mining Chutes just for fun and learn a bunch of things because of these documentations, these SDKs, and these toolings that are already pre-built for me. I just need to Lego plug in things and respect the rules and try to earn some alpha tokens. So as soon as you pip install Chutes SDK, you can auto build AI models. You can write Chutes deploy to put it online instead of doing all of this, like Kubernetes and servers. Pay only when. So if you deploy a model without the SDK, you're gonna pay 24/7, but the SDK handles paying only when it's used. This is crazy, guys. It's probably a huge pre-built file that we don't even look at, but it's probably tens of thousands of lines of code and architecture. Who's it for? A developer with a custom or fine-tuned model who doesn't want to become a DevOps engineer because there's a lot of infrastructure to maintain. Companies that want private pay-per-use AI instead of 200K GPU clusters, or builders shipping an image, video, audio LLM application fast. This right here, the table, is a Chutes deploy your own model buzzword. Pause the screen, save it if you want, but you need to understand what these things mean if at least you want to broker it or you want to deploy your own. So here's a mental model for me making money deploying Chutes for enterprises. You are the translator plus installer. Companies want private AI but are scared, confused by the tech. You set it up on Chutes for them, hand them a working API link and charge for the convenience. the three things you sell: setup, you do the setup, you do the SDK, you deploy the Chutes app on their behalf via the SDK. I'm sure it is pretty simple with everything that's been pre-packaged and we saw. We're gonna touch on the SDK in a moment. I'm gonna explain what it is, just follow along. So we're deploying something that they don't want to mess with, or they don't know how. Maybe it's like a hospital or someone handling financial data. Maybe he's a banker or something and he isn't too technical. This is something we can upsell him. Peace of mind, private, compliant, no servers to manage, no DevOps salaries, no 1 month configurations. Everything is done by me. You're the guy who installs the fancy espresso machines and shows the cafe how to use it. They don't want to read the manual, they want coffee. So this is the analogy as to me deploying Chutes for enterprises, small, medium, or large companies. I don't know, I'm freaking pumped. I haven't even thought of this, but because of this 1 hour plus long video, it's getting more and more interesting, guys. I don't know what you guys are doing right now, but AI is the future. Chutes is the future. That's why I'm invested and I want to freaking make money with Chutes. Whatever way it is. Is it mining, brokering, upselling, I don't know, undercutting, whatever the case is. A dead simple example, local dental clinic. Their problem, they have 10 years of patient notes. They want an AI assistant that answers staff questions. What's the protocol for X patient type? But patient data is HIPAA protected, so ChatGPT is a legal no-go. What you do as a broker, take their notes plus a good open model, fine-tune or connect it, deploy it as a custom Chutes in a TE vault, private and auditable, hand them one API link their front-end software can call, set a quota is so it can run wild. I can even build their actual dentist chatbot for them, their UI to chat privately serverless. So guys, I'm just freaking mind blown. Just by this dead simple example, I can hit up 15 dentist offices, see their needs, and try to close one. This could easily be a $10,000 or $20,000 contract. And these people aren't technical at all, but they need privacy. So just by you guys understanding Chutes and deployments, you can make serious cash, probably even more than miners. What they get: a private AI trained on their clinic, data that never leaks, no 30K GPUs, no IT hire, pay per use, compliant, everything is logged. What you charge: setup fee one time, 1.5 to 3K to build and deploy, monthly retainer to manage it, monitor, adjust. Their GPU usage runs on Chutes underneath, cheap, pay as you go. You pocket the setup plus retainer. Chutes provides a cheap serverless muscle. The clinic gets private AI without touching a server. Who can you target? Law firm. Search summarize case files confidentially. Dental, HIPAA safe staff assistant. Accounting firm, analyze client financials privately. Real estate agency, auto write listings from their data. Any SME, an internal company co-pilot. I need to understand what SME is. One Brett, you want AI trained on your own data, but you can't send client info into ChatGPT and you don't want to buy a server. You set up a private AI on a decentralized GPU. Your data stays in a sealed vault. You get one API link that plugs into your tools and you pay only for what you use. I handle all the tech, you just use it. So yeah, this could easily come with a pre-built AI front-end chatbot that runs on Chutes for these dentists. I'm freaking hyped, boys. Let me know in the comments down below if y'all want to become Chutes brokers. Man, if I freaking end up with a course how to be a Chutes broker, that would make a lot of noise. But yeah, Chutes is probably the only freaking subnet that has enough products and features for me to use it without only being a miner and make serious cash with it, to be honest. Like, literally, guys, I'm thinking out loud right now. I'm just freaking trying things out. Bro, let's say we go to LA, we find freaking, where's a popular city? Where's LA, man? I'm not a States guy. Where is LA? Fucking dentist in LA. Boom. So you have all these dental clinics, Los Angeles Dental Clinic. Let's see his website. Like, yo, the phone number is right here. The contact page is right here. Why can't we freaking just, hey, I was wondering if you use AI in your everyday work. I am an AI integration specialist that focuses on client privacy and helping you speed up your daily work with AI completely hands off. Let me know if you want to explore your business operations and see if you can integrate AI, limit repetitive tasks, and potentially increase profit margin. Like, if I understand how to deploy Chutes and I test it out for myself 2, 3, 4, 5 times and I get confident with it, what is stopping me to send this email and then sending him a quote of multiple thousands of dollars to this dentist because he's probably making money? He's in LA, like completely from home, setting up his serverless things, hopping on calls. This would be like a dream come true for me if I am a freaking Chutes broker. Name me one person in the Bittensor community who talks about these things. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm thinking too fast, but this is something I will consider heavily. Next up, guys, as you can see, there's an API section on Chutes' website that takes you to the documentations, and they have a lot of different endpoints. So they have for users, for Chutes, for images, all sorts of programmable automations that you can do on your command line interface for your miners, for whatever operations you're running. I want to understand what the API is for. So I told them, give me 2, 3 very popular examples. Who needs, these API endpoints? Why do they use them? Give me something interesting. He's gonna look into here and, give me the answer. We'll see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next up on the list, we're going to attack Chutes API, see how the API is programmatic, example of a miner automating something with the API, see these different endpoints, see the hype. Why would someone use these API endpoints? Because if you want to be a Chutes connoisseur, evangelist, whatever you want to call it, maximalist, a Chutes broker, you need to know every little detail about Chutes and how it works and how you can use it for others or for yourself. This is the whole point. So we still have a little bit of bullet points to go, but we're making good progress. If you're still here, major shout out. Drop a comment down below, drop down your timestamp and tell me you're still listening. You'll go far for sure. Not many people finish 2-hour videos nowadays. Imagine making them and learning at the same time. I'm literally sweating, guys, to be honest. So the Chutes API, the dashboard as code fast, the number one confusion to clear up. There are two different Chutes APIs. Everyone mixes them up. Calling the model, this is the actual AI endpoint. You've used it? Yes, I've used this. API.chutes.ai, managing your account, keys, balances, deployments, usage. So this is a programmable way for people to interact with their miners, with the Chutes' gateways, with the nodes that they set up. So this is in essence what the API is for. It's for developers that, maybe are miners at this point. It's just everything you can click on the website turn into commands. Yeah, so instead of using the front end UI to manage your miner and see your things, get data, you can use it via the CLI. Some people are very experienced and they use it. The endpoint families, 150 different endpoints, so 32 for users. Check your balances, usages, quotes, whatever. 6 to get GPU prices, your payments, your TAO top-ups. This is probably you can add code. So if your TAO falls underneath a certain threshold, you can re-top up to pay your GPUs or deployments or whatever. Deploy, list, warm up, delete your Chutes. Images, build, list your Docker images. So this is probably to configure your things when you set up your miners. Invocation, pull usage stats, how much you're spending, how much people are using models, authentication keys and miners, node and servers, 27 endpoints. Manage your GPU inventory, see scores and metrics. Who's the API for? Not 99% of users, an AI agent that self-manages its own credits, a miner scripting their GPU inventory, a broker, you, managing multiple client keys and quotes, that might be interesting, a company baking Chutes into their CI/CD pipeline. I have no idea what CI/CD is. If a human clicks it once, use the website. If a robot needs to do it 100 times a day, use the API. That is what the API is for. I really love this explanation. The three most popular easy things: check your balance. So curl is gonna send your balance. You have, if balance under $10, send towel payment. Perfect for a minor or heavy user who never wants their service to stop mid-job. Create and hand out scoped API Chutes. Create keys. Make a key that can only call the dental clinic's model, nothing else. You manage 10 clients, access from a script safely. This is gold for you as a broker. You can generate a key for each client that only works for their one chute. Covers CLI commands and all that. Amazing. Warm up a chute. Preheat a model so there's no cold start lag when a real traffic hits. Curl Chutes AI warm up Quen. Authorization bearer key. Wake up the model now so it's instant when a batch of 10,000 requests starts. Great for scheduled automated workloads. So here I just asked a few questions about what cold models are, because I've seen on some models that they went cold. And what does starting a model look like? There's three states of a cold model. Cold: the truck is parked, engine is off, fridge is empty. So it basically means the model isn't on any GPU. It only exists as files sitting in storage. Nobody's paying attention. Starting cold start: the GPU downloads the model weights, can be 50 to 300 gigabytes, and loads them into VRAM. Takes seconds to a few minutes. Grills on, ready to cook the instant an order comes. The model is loaded into the GPU, answering requests. So cold: the model is off. Starting: someone downloads the model on his GPU and turns it on, so it takes a few minutes. This is the beautiful part. The docs are explicit. You are not charged for a cold start. The downloading and loading is free. You only start paying the moment it's hot. Why would a model go cold? I'm actually curious. No requests coming in. Every model has a timer shutdown after seconds. Default 300 equal 5 minutes. So when the last request finishes and nobody calls it again before the timer runs out, it shuts down and goes cold. Okay, so this is pre-configured on Chutes' side when the miner plugs in. Why they want it to go cold? A hot model is sitting on a GPU burning money even when idle. That GPU is expensive. So for the deployer, keeping it hot with no traffic, paying for nothing. Going cold saves you money. For a miner, a cold GPU is now a cold GPU is now free to run a different, busier model that's actually earning. So I guess they turn on the models, then they re-download them with hundreds of gigabytes. And since it's a GPU, it is pretty quick. Instant answers cost money while idle, free while parked. Next user waits for a cold start. Do bounties are related with cold starts and cold models? How do bounties work, simply put, for miners to get more alpha tokens? Yes, bounties are 100% tied to cold models. That's exactly what they're for. Here's the simple version. A bounty pops up when a model is cold, not running anywhere, but someone wants to use it. The network has a problem. A customer needs model X, but 0 miners have it hot. Someone spin it up fast. To make miners hurry, it slap a cash bonus bounty on it. So finally I understood what a chute bounty is. How a miner wins it. Model goes cold, demand appears, bounty is placed. Every miner's Geppetto brain sees that alert. They race to cold start it, load the model into GPU and serve the request. First one to serve it wins the bounty. Wow. So yeah, that was it for everything related to the API, who's it for, and cold and warm starts and bounties. That was super insightful. I loved it. What is up, my trendsetters? Day 3 of this 2-hour long what is Chutes video, how to make money with Chutes. We got the coffee, we're ready. This is what we have to tackle right here today. All the little sections where you don't see an X is what we have to talk about. So this is what's on the menu. Let's start right away. Right now with Chutes, we saw the models page, we saw the custom Chutes page, and now we need to see what this integration page is because there's a lot of words, a lot of cool things that you can do with this if you study it deeply. And we also saw the API page. So this, and this is covered. We need to see this section right here because Chutes is one of the only subnets where you can actually make serious money with it without mining it because it is a real company with real revenue, real customers, real products and services. So honestly, I'm going to start saying this word more and more. We are going to become Chutes integrationists. So are we going to switch over, AI inference to Chutes for companies? Are we going to integrate OpenClaw and Hermes agents for companies? Are we going to deploy private Chutes? Are we going to mine for data centers that have idle GPUs? This is the whole point. I want to understand Chutes on a deeper level to either mine it, make money with it. Bittensor is the future. I want to work for the rest of my life within the Bittensor ecosystem, and that's why I have this freaking YouTube channel. So subscribe. A freaking lot went into this video. Let's get into it. So let me get a sip. Okay, so integrations, connect Chutes to agent tools. Who should use it and why? So let's see how we're gonna prompt this for success. So explore tools and integration powered by Chutes' decentralized AI inference network, from coding agents to automations to chat surfaces. So the first thing that comes to mind is that Hermes and OpenClaw are two of the biggest AI agents, and they have open source GitHub repos right now. And if you click on these cards right here, you're going to see that it redirects you to Chutes AI / Hermes agent. So they forked, you see on the top left, the News Research official AI agent framework with 211,000 stars. Chutes forked it and probably made the same thing but already plugged into Chutes. And what this means essentially is that if you end up setting up an AI agent on a terminal right here that does things, that mine for you on Bittensor, he is going to need an LLM brain. And what probably they did, I haven't checked yet, is that they made it so Hermes uses Chutes' own models, so it's profitable for Chutes. Same thing for OpenClaw. So News Research Agent workflows can route models calls through Chutes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Same thing for NN8. For those of you who don't know, NN8 is basically a vibe coder's wet dream. What you do on that platform is you sign up and you basically do drag and drops of functions and actions and classes to code easier without handling the terminal and Linux stuff and AI code generations and things of that nature. They have pre-packaged functions for like sending emails, looping, scraping, and things of that nature. It takes a skill to code with NN8, but I like coding myself with Claude or any AI and just handling the raw code. It's easier for me. I don't know why their page isn't loading. This is crap, but yeah. So most likely what Chutes did with this card right here, they made it so the NN8 automation and the little drag and drop box uses, when it calls an LLM, it calls Chutes. So these things, I do not know what they are. Claude Code AI agent. But yeah, I highly suggest you guys, click on each one of these cards and you literally just copy the GitHub or whatever, you import it in VS Code like I showed you guys, and you literally start studying all of these files. You read the README, you understand how it connects to Chutes, and most importantly, how can you take advantage, with that GitHub repo. Because from studying Chutes, once again, I'm gonna repeat it, I understood there's so many coders that are under the hood that build important stuff for us to just click clone a repo on a terminal and paste the command and everything is done for us. At this point, coding is just plugging into stuff and developing a front end. That's the way I see it. But somebody has to do these modules and these libraries and these complex codings for us to import them into our scripts in one single line. So this is the future of coding. People have done the hard work for us. They literally build the casing of the house and we just need to do the rest. That's the way I see it. And Chutes really excels at that. Okay, so we are here right now. I need to study this page deeply in plain English. What is Chutes promoting? Who's it for? When to use it? Basic actions to plug into these cards. Explain each of these cards in simple terms and what are their advantages to using them. Use analogies when needed. I need to understand who's it for, and only then we will study and brainstorm potential offerings for plugging AI agents related to Chutes or things of that nature related to that page. So now just link him the page so he knows it. And actually ask AI to fetch the page and see through it. What cool things can we do with the attached GitHubs of these cards? Each of the cards, when clicked, route us to a GitHub page like so. Tell me what did Chutes do? Simply put, to fork Hermes agent. Did they change it a lot? So I'm most interested by Hermes because it's a self-improving agent which writes its own skills. So when you learn something with Hermes, it's going to become better by itself. So this is very important for mining. I want to explore if I can use that for myself, for others, whatever the case is. Study everything and dumb it down for me as if I don't understand this section about Chutes. Let's see what he spits out. So let me actually pull the live page. This is very important. Honestly, guys, sometimes you have to ask the AI, yo, actually go fetch the page, make a bash command, because like sometimes it answers you and it tries to skim away the work and it doesn't really check the actual source page. Now it's really fetching everything and we're gonna see what type of answer we got. Believe me or not, I tried prompting it right here. I really didn't like the answer. It was really generic. I hate generic answers from AI. It's a complete waste of time, and there's a particular art in the way to control how AI responds that's good for you. And yeah, the people that understand these things, like the things we did with Glossary and Video Outline and CLAUDE.md, are going to go far with AI. Like this video is much more easier since I've had this file in place when it comes to controlling information about my Chutes learning process. So Chutes integration page, the page explains like you're new. In one sentence, Chutes is really saying whatever AI tools you already use or love, you can make it run on our cheap private open source models instead of expensive closed ones, often by changing just one setting. So yeah, often by just changing one setting. This is because Chutes' API call request format is literally the same as OpenAI. They made it, they molded themselves to the golden standard of OpenAI. So in this call, for example, let me show you guys. If you click on a model right here, API Python. So this request format is literally the same than OpenAI. They probably came up with it, and Chutes, you just have to change this. Instead of saying OpenAI, it's going to be a different URL, and it's going to change your whole AI agent. This is what Claude is saying by changing one line. It's this line right here, the HTTPS. Instead of it saying OpenAI API, is going to say Chutes chat completions. That's it. And this is actually pretty important because all your agents can, switch providers in 1 second. 6 cards, plain English. OpenClaw, CLI tools. An AI assistant that lives inside your terminal, okay. You type questions, it helps you code right where you're already working. Okay, so similar to this is more of a GUI for you beginners, but I didn't install Claude Code directly inside of here. So there's a slight difference, but it's almost the same thing at the same time because he has access to my terminal. Who's it for? Developers who don't want to leave their terminal to ask an AI something. So yeah, if you want to chat with Claude here, hey, what's up? Change this, and he has all the accesses. You can do that. But with Chutes inference, with this section right here, that's why it's here. CLI tools. So integrations, that's pretty cool. Advantage: one install command, then you're chatting with AI powered by Chutes. It's going to get it's going to be much cheaper. And guys, these times are coming for this to plug in for companies or for yourself, because Claude OpenAI is only going to get more expensive. See my latest tweets. Like, I literally tweeted about it. Oops, not the wrong. I literally tweeted about it. I'm losing the sleep over the fact, yada, yada, yada. Just read this tweet and you're going to understand that Anthropic, OpenAI are bullfrogging us. And it's only a matter of time before these usage credits get really expensive. So who's it for? People who want an AI assistant that's always on somewhere they already hang out. Their group chat, not something they have to open a special app for. Remember things, takes actions, and live on Telegram desktop, Slack, okay? You route its brain through Chutes, so same thing. So instead of it being a CLI tool agent, an AI assistant, actually this one is an agent that can do actions, but with Chutes as a brain. So it's exactly what I said. Drag and drop tool, exactly what I said, no coding. If this, do that. So same thing, non-coder, small business who want automations without hiring a developer. There's a ready-made Chutes puzzle piece, a node you drop in your workflow to call a cheap AI model mid-automation. Yeah, so your drag and drops become Chutes powered instead of OpenAI or Claude. Like NN8 workflows. If you guys haven't seen these, like boom. So this right here, like send email, generate a message. For it to generate a message, boom, you see right here the model. This is ChatGPT. And what Chutes did is basically added railways for vibe coders and small businesses, developers to have Chutes right here. So yeah, this is something you can put some focus into, understanding how it works, maybe changing the workflows for people, reducing their AI bills. You would need to study this GitHub repo, dump it in AI, work your way through. But I'm really loving these three cards right now because these are actually cool ways to make money with Chutes. Chutes integrationist, guys, this is the new wave of 2026. Trendsetter capital, baby. We are here to explore cool ways to make money. Like, there's not even 100 people in the world making money with Chutes right now, and I want to get to the bottom of this. I'm just super motivated. Open Web UI. What is it? You own private ChatGPT style website that you or a company fully own and host. That sounds very interesting to integrate for people. Teams who don't want employees pasting company data into the public ChatGPT. Open Web UI via Dropzone. I have never heard of that. I have no idea what it is. So Dropzone. That's very, very self-hosted Chutes workspace. Holy shit. Okay. So from these buzzwords right here, from what I understand, Chutes literally has a full repo for us to have a chatbot that's powered by Chutes, but locally on your own machine. So like computer, desktop, I don't know how to show it to you guys, but let's say a company, is working on their computers and they don't want to, type stuff and public client cases, maybe a law firm. I could integrate this repo on a lawyer's computer, maybe make it shareable with a couple IPs, maybe 5, 6 other junior lawyers, and they would be able to have a Chutes AI powered 85% cheaper AI bill, but also private because it's self-hosted. Like, this is crazy. Chutes Dropzone package, a Chutes themed open web UI deployment with a quota widget overlay for host. This is insane. Yeah, so this is the GitHub for that. Let me see what the AI said. Chutes Dropzone is a prepackaged bundle. One command spins up the whole chat website or already wired to Chutes models and sign in with Chutes login button. Oh my God, all right. MCP clients, developer tools. A little tool that generates config files so AI code editors, cursor, VS Code knows how to talk to Chutes. So yeah, I use, let me show you. So this is very, very cool. If you're building Chutes chords, Chutes AI agents, you want to integrate stuff for Chutes, you want to plug into the API and the documentations for your LLM brain, you have questions about how Chutes works, the MCP is literally for that. Let me show you. I have a video where, I've built, where is it? Connectors, where is it? Fuck. Connectors. You can see that I'm connected to the tau stats and the Ditto MCP. And that is because whenever I code, I have my shared memory right here. Everything related to Bittensor, my automated trading scripts. So this is what an MCP is. You can say, hey, go fetch the Chutes' MCP and tell me how to deploy a Chute efficiently because I'm stuck on part number 6, the Ansible script. It is going to go over the documentations. It has a retrieval system and the answer will become much better. The code that you generate will become much better. Whatever you're trying to plug into, it will have the good request format. So man, Chutes is really, I'm really impressed with all the features they're having. And yo, like the AI and the front end is so crisp. Like I'm just need to say it again. I just love this font, this little colorway in the background right here. It's so nice. So let's go with the last one. Is it plugged to a GitHub? So Vator, web dev. So did they fork something? Chutes agent toolkit. Give any AI agent access to Chutes.ai. One toolkit, every agent, drop Chutes into Claude, Hermes, OpenClaw Codex, or any compatible client. Decentralized serverless inference for open source models. Claude Code. Let's a coding agent like the one you're using right now install skills from a marketplace and run coding tasks using Chute hosted models instead of the default ones. Developers wanting a mix and match. So this once again helps you plug into Chutes. I think you need to like pip install it somewhere or I don't know. And basically you would need to install it on your terminal right here. Boom, new terminal. Pip install Chutes toolkit, whatever the case is, the command is. You're going to have these new skill sets and you can integrate your web apps or whatever you're building more easy into Chutes. So yeah, did Chutes change the Hermes GitHub? And the answer seems, so yeah, did Chutes change Hermes's GitHub to actually fork that and offer it for us? The answer is almost no. Not yet. So this makes sense because they just take the Hermes agent, but they make it compatible with Chutes directly upon installation. That's the only logical thing they would do. They wouldn't change how the AI agent behaves because that's the open source contributions from Noose Research. It's like Chutes put their sticker on a box of pizza and hasn't even been remade yet. They copied the recipe, forked the repo, so they have a version they control and customize later. Tell me more about card number 6. I don't understand it clearly what it is. Be more specific, a bit longer explanation, but simple. So I'm just having a bit of trouble understanding a Claude code. Install Chute skills from agent toolkit. I don't understand what agent toolkit means and Chute skills. Let me just try to copy this, copy the README actually, like this, and he's going to have enough context. Explain it like I'm 18, who's it for, when to use it, for what use case. Simply put. This makes much more sense right now. As you can see, they still hallucinate sometimes. What card 6 is and 5 really is. A box of pre-written instruction that teaches AI agents like Claude, the one you're talking to right now, how to use Chutes. So yeah, it's just a toolkit for you to code better, faster, and integrate with Chutes easier, do the Chutes thing instead of typing commands yourself, and it's going to check the MCP. Boom, it's going to have the toolkits as well, and you're going to generate code in seconds. That is not the official Chutes team. It's built by an independent developer, Vator, for the community. Chutes website just links it because it's genuinely useful. Like a fan-made instruction manual. So you guys should still double verify what you guys are downloading. This could be malicious, but if Chutes reposted it on their front end, I think it's credible enough. What's inside the box? Skills, Chutes AI, make your API, get API keys, deploy Chute, usage and billing. Okay, so it's just how to use their stuff. Developers who use AI coding agent and want to get agent to operate Chutes on their behalf, not just chat about it. Set me up with a Chutes account and API key. Deploy Quen3 as a VLM Chute with a stable alias. Make Chutes available in cursor via MCP. Okay. Hey Claude, deploy my fine-tuned model on Chutes, so private, and set it up. If it's too busy, fall back to a backup model. Without the toolkit, your agent has no idea how, guesses wrong, wastes your time, wastes his token. With the toolkit installed, your agent opens Chutes deploy, skill card, and the Chutes routing. Holy shit, okay, so you're basically plugging in skills into your AI agent's brain with a skills.md file that is going to get installed and imported in your agent as you're coding, okay. So from my understanding, all of these cards are basically railways for people to use Chutes in a few clicks, easier, and Chutes to just serve more tokens. So this is what it is in simple terms. God, I love this page because you have 6 different cards and Chutes is actually a valuable company. So from there, let's see what type of services we can offer to businesses. Okay, so with that new knowledge, walk me through a simple brainstorm as to how to offer these integrations to small businesses, even mid to large corps that need cheaper AI, inference, serverless things. Don't be scared to mix other things like Chute deployments. From my understanding, this right here seems super interesting. You're saying we can set up in a few clicks a private chatbot with Chutes LLMs locally on a dentist's office spaces on a few computers for his team, or a law firm so they can dump client files privately in there. Walk me through something like that and make me a price point I can realistically charge. You are my expert business integrationist consultant on pricings and value-added services. I am a Chutes integrationist looking for B2B enterprise contracts. Let's see, guys, we're digging for gold. I'm going to build an email outreach system or something, but in the next 6 months, I need to make at least $1 with Chutes. That's my freaking purpose at the moment. And day 3, if you're still watching, I don't care how long this video is, it might be 6 hours. I'm going to get to the bottom of Chutes completely. So yeah, that's the whole point. If you guys are still watching, big shout out to you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for, engaging with my content. But it means you'll go far. You aren't brain rotted. You are hungry and you're looking for cool new opportunities. This is the whole point. So let's read the whole output because my prompt was really cool. The core insight, you're an MVNO for AI. You're like a mobile phone reseller. Companies like Mint Mobile don't own cell towers. They rent access from Verizon, T-Mobile at wholesale rates, repackage it with a nice app and support, and sell it to you at a markup. You're doing that with Chutes GPUs. Chutes owns the towers. You package it and install it, support it, and charge a service fee on top. Man, this is music to my ears. I'm going to become a freaking Chutes integrationist. I need a Bittensor 64 cap right now because that's where the vibes are at. I'm where the serious subnets are. I don't invest in bullshit. I don't invest in meme coins. I'm here to do real work. That's why Bittensor is the only crypto I like. And shout out to the Chutes miners because I know this isn't easy. Profits are low, the token is crashing, but you know, something good is going to come out of it, just like Bitcoin mining. The 3-tier ladder. Map each tier to actual cards you now understand. Starter, small office, dentist, small clinic, 5 to 15 staff. What you deploy, private ChatGPT clone, open. Okay, so tech used, it's exactly this. Boom, I can literally deploy this for someone. Open WebUI Dropzone only, professional firms with real workflows, law firm accounting, 15 to 50 staff, private chat plus document search plus automations, Dropzone plus NN8 plus maybe Hermes. I think he might have hallucinated right here because document search might be a retrieval system. Chutes had a retrieval system buzzword somewhere. Control find retrieval. How do you write that? Power Copilot's retrieval workflows. So retrieval workflows internal tooling means the AI is supposed to have skills as to how it fetches documents from large databases or storage areas, and it's going to fetch the right information, just like Ditto. Oh fuck, wrong thing. Ditto. They have a retrieval system that uses machine learning and is proprietary to the subnet. So you can apparently build that on Chutes as well. Automations for your company with custom AI inference endpoint. Enterprise, mid-large corp with proprietary data at scale. Custom private model, dedicated infra, so custom Chutes deployment plus TE plus SDK. Okay. The dentist example. Staff manually types up notes, answer the same FAQs, and can't legally use ChatGPT with patient data. Spin up a Chutes drop zone, boom, point it at Chutes TE model, set up logins for the 5 staff computers via sign-in with Chutes, brand it lightly Clinic AI Assistant. What they get, they own private ChatGPT on their subdomain, that any staff member opens in a browser, no install on their end. Time to deliver, honestly, 1 afternoon once you've done it once. One-time markup, so $2,000. Monthly management updates, support, one new user added, uptime check, $300 a month. Underlying Chutes GPU costs, they never see this bill. $10 to $40 a month, pass through, invisible in your fee. Your margin, you charge $200 a month. The actual Chutes compute might cost $15 a month. You pocket $185. Yeah, but isn't the Chutes compute on their API key and their credit cards? Like, why is it on me? Oh, I guess so they don't pay anything and I just charge the markup. All right. So they would use, for example, $15 of, API calls or whatever the case is. And I would charge them per month for the whole service. They don't even know they're using Chutes. All right. So tier 2, professional, the law firm example. Paragals spend hours summarizing case files, client documents are privileged, can't touch public AI. They also want repetitive intakes, steps automated, what you build. Same drop zone, add document, upload, search, so Laris can ask, what does this contact say about liability? Powered by a Chutes model and a retrieval system. Wire up and innate automations, new client intake from submitted, summarized with AI, email to assigned lawyer. Perfect, set quotas per team. So one paralegal can't burn the whole budget. Okay, I see. What they get, a private legal assistant plus hands-off intake automation, fully siloed from the public internet. This is insane. One-time setup, $6,000, monthly retainer, $1,000 a month. Why they'll pay it? Compared to hiring even a part-time IT consultant, which is $4,000 a month, or compliance breach lawsuit, your cheap insurance plus convenience. This is insane. Enterprise, a real custom deployment. So a big firm has private data like a trading logic or internal knowledge base or a fine-tuned model that they did themselves or with other professionals. and they need a dedicated scaled private infrastructure, not a shared chatbot. Use Chutes SDK to deploy the custom fine-tuned model as a private chute. Configure TEE plus dedicated GPU, no shared hardware, so the miners are only going to serve that firm privately. Set up API access, give them their URL links. Ongoing dev support, maybe change the models, switch up the infrastructure, start it, pause it, adding new logic. Man, one-time build and deployment, 10 to 30 grand. Discovery and scoping call free. Dude, the AI is so smart. Like, they give you ideas right off the bat that kind of make sense, and obviously you polish it yourself with your human touch. But look at these numbers, guys. At this tier, you're not installing an app, you're their outsourced AI infrastructure team. Enterprise paid consultants, $300 an hour for exactly this. You're delivering it cheaper because you're not building custom software, you're assembling proven pieces, SDK plus TE plus Chutes network. So yeah, save this, guys, and subscribe to the channel. Who is giving out this much free value and ideas as to what to do with Chutes? I am freaking baffled. Don't hesitate to join the alpha group right here. We just started, talking with my team and, with the, group. What interesting things can we do with Chutes? We have a Bittensor builders page right here where we can network, team up. This is what it's about, a private community of hungry people that want to make big things with Bittensor. So if y'all want to join, it's right here. Boom. Tau Radar on this join alpha group page. It's going to be linked in the description, or you can even pay with crypto. So this recording has been 36 minutes for this section, but I think it was massively useful because you now just understood 6 different cards and what you can do with Chutes. So this is something I will be putting in time with my group, by myself, as to how to invent my Chutes offering and get some emails going, because for this to work, you need to mass outreach, you need to have a strategic marketing approach. Let's keep pushing, boys. We are at part E, the business case. Let's analyze Chutes' competitors. I know that Venice token right here literally did a 20x at the peak and is literally a competitor to Chutes. This is private AI inference incentivized by the VVV token. It has an 800M fully diluted market cap and a market cap of like 700M. This is crazy, guys. It did a 20x. Obviously, it garnered more attention. The price action is nothing like Chutes, but I genuinely believe Chutes is better. I do not know why yet. So we prepared a humongous prompt to analyze all of the competitors. So we need to study clearly Chutes competitors, if there are any, and if they had any private seeding rounds, any funding rounds, if any companies are public. Try to find OpenAI and Anthropic revenues and expenses. These are the types of things that I ask, my agent. You can pause the screen and see how I type to it when I want detailed information. The competitors, I know some of them like Replit. I want to understand how OpenRouter and Chutes work together because I know Chutes is the #1 AI inference provider on OpenRouter. They have some kind of subsidy and partnership. I want to know about that right here stated. Right in plain text, nicely spaced out. Also very important, compare VVV. It's basically private inference token incentivized by its VVV crypto token, almost the same thing. Price the competitors by rank 1, 2, and 3, gold, silver, bronze for me to understand. I linked him some documents to VVV as well, just for him to have better understanding. So let's see how it goes. So now time to find reasons why Chutes is undervalued. The first of them, Anthropic is worth $308 billion according to this research. We have all the resources right here. OpenAI is worth almost $1 trillion. Guys, Chutes, it's stated right here, is valued at $80 billion, and you have text, image, video, audio embeddings, trusted execution environment, developer SDKs, all these integrations, and we are valued at $80 million. This is nothing, guys. Fully diluted, we're at 300 million, while Anthropic is literally 100x that at 300B, and 300x is OpenAI. This is simply first mover advantage. They have the latest, the best possible tech, and they have the brand name. Like, guys, really think about it for a second. If you switch over your API keys to generate code from Claude or Codex to Kimi K 2.7 code, are you really going to notice the difference that much? No, but your AI inference bill will be 85% cheaper compared to usage-based credits, and you have the potential to invest in a company that is, let's see, 80 million divided by 800 billion. I don't even know how to type, bro. It's not even close to 0.1%. So you have Chutes serving 33 trillion tokens in a year, worth this much compared to centralized AI labs. And you see it right here, Moonshot Kimi K 2.7 code. I'm on openrouter.ai. You have open source models that beat some of the latest, best centralized, AI providers. So why wouldn't you pay less, and why wouldn't you invest in a company that is worth 0.0001% of a centralized lab? All while the narrative is slowly shifting. People are going to run open source models on their own machines when tech and compute and storage get even more optimized. Venice token that literally did a 20x and is worth 800 million. It's not 525, that's a hallucination. So it is 10x the market cap of Chutes, but Venice's core product is just private uncensored chat. Is worth 10 times more than Chutes, that provides the full stack for people to run text, image, video, audio embeddings, TE, all of that, and all of the other sections we explored for 1/10 of the market cap. And Venice is also crypto native. So why couldn't, Chutes 10x? I think it's only a matter of time. And it is a great moment for us to be buying. That's why I'm making this freaking video, because Chutes has been crashing for almost 500 days in a row. Everybody forgot about that token. And that's why I'm studying it. I'm learning how to make money with it. I'm investing in it. I'm slowly accumulating, and I swapped a lot of subnets. I made the announcements here in my private Discord. Portfolio updates. You see that I started swapping things for Chutes on June 10th, and I explained my thesis. So if y'all want real-time alerts of my portfolios and you know how I strategize my subnet holdings, feel free to join my group. I update that in real time. But yeah, let's narrow down the numbers a little bit, because we need to get down to more comparisons with Chutes and see face value what other decentralized compute marketplaces are worth. But some other cool things I saw, OpenAI loses $1.22 for every dollar it generates, so a minus 120% operating margin. This is insane. And Anthropic apparently is a little bit closer to break even. This is very impressive for a centralized lab. And it even recorded its first ever operating profit of a little under $500 million. And one little positive that we have for us Chutes holders is that Rayon Labs doesn't pay its miners to operate. They're subsidized by the Bittensor Tau network emission. So they don't seek external fundings just to get GPUs and a warehouse and buy the land and all these things. The miners are naturally incentivized via Bittensor, and you see how powerful this is when it comes to serving AI inference. It is simply magical. Rayon Labs doesn't need to pay the miners on Chutes around the world, whereas OpenAI and Anthropic need to borrow billions of dollars just to accumulate these GPUs, pay a GPU manager, warehouse managers, maintainers, software engineers, infrastructure specialists, just to maintain their infrastructure and their uptime on their GPUs. So that's why they're operating at net negatives. And at some point they're going to jack up the prices massively. And that is when Chutes is going to have freaking millions more customers swarm in a few months. Because if you look at this Anthropic's revenue run rate valued to 30 billion, just in 2022, they were at $87 million revenue, and Chutes is at $5 million revenue. We're not even here. So when the open source revolution kicks in and people are going to switch over their API keys to Chutes, I expect something like this from like 5M to a billion in a few months. And that's when, you know, the next wave of capital is gonna jump into Chutes. And, you know, us holders that saw that coming, you know, that predicted this open source revolution are maybe going to see either the price of Tau go up or, you know, the token price at least doing something like this somewhere here, something I'm eyeing on. I want a side-by-side comparison. Maybe look at open router providers, see if they have a website, see their milestones, fundings, total users, tokens served. So now I basically want a side-by-side comparison that's a little bit more clear, like a table style, with Chutes and other providers. So you guys can go to Open Router and explore the different models. If you go here to providers, you have all these different providers that, you know, provide inference on this platform. So we have Chutes right here. So all of these people can be competitors to Chutes, either directly or indirectly. And that's what I'm trying to find out. So just link him that. Focus only on what I said: revenue, users, fundings, valuations, private or public, inference tokens served, types of AI available, text, image, embeddings, etc. To see product depth. Make me a nice table, fetch all resources, websites, etc. Link the websites too. So this second answer, the research was much better, most likely because of my prompt, and I told him to focus only on a few things. And we have the mega Chutes comparison table right here. The one that jumps to mind is Together AI. It is valued at $8 billion, guys. It is literally, I think, 100x the size of Chutes. But I do agree that the revenue is $1 billion. A billion divided by 5 million, I think, is 200. So it has 200x the revenue of Chutes. And if you go on their website, it is a direct competitor. As you can see, inference, you have all these open source models, you have dedicated GPUs that are similar to deploying private Chutes, containerized things, batchings. You can even fine tune apparently on Together AI. So it does look a bit more set in stone in terms of business development. I like Chutes' UI much more though. Let's see the pricing. I don't know if they top up on that one. So let me see quickly. KMK 2.6. Let's compare it to Chutes. So we have 120 in and 450 out. Let's see. KMK 2.6. It's right here. Holy moly, half the price for the input tokens, and man, 350 divided by 420, 80%, so around 20% cheaper than what Together AI offers. This is crazy, man. 20% is a lot when you think about it. So yeah, as you can see, they have Minimax 2.7, 30 cents in, 120 out. We're at 15 cents in, 120 out. So we're still kind of cheaper. Yeah, I'm very impressed with Chutes, and Together AI has 100x the market cap. I do not see why Chutes can't even steal a little bit of market share from them. So okay, they have sandbox environments. These are the GPUs that they're offering, probably dedicated. Reliable GPU clusters, okay. But still, 100x the market cap, I feel good investing in Chutes. It's crypto native. Crypto's the future. It's agentic native. Tau is the future. So as Tau is gaining popularity, Chutes is directly benefiting from that, whereas Together AI isn't tied with crypto, so they don't have an underlying hype token that can bring it up as well. Yeah, they don't disclose their customers. Text, image fine-tuning, and GPU rental. As you can see, the product depth for Chutes is much bigger. So we have deep infra as well. These guys right here. It is very similar. Unified API key for these models. Okay, they're pretty deep in terms of products. and they raised $110 million. Imagine if we hear that 300 Labs raises a bunch of money, but obviously they don't do it because they don't need it. We're just built different in crypto. How much is deep infra worth? Not disclosed. Revenue tripled since 2026. Fireworks AI, never heard of that. They've raised $400 million, 15 billion valuation. This is crazy. Frontier Specialized Intelligence, Open Model Economics, Full Parameter Training and Leading Edge Inference One Platform. Oh my god, 30 trillion tokens per day. So Chutes is so small. Damn, we served 30 trillion tokens in a year. So you're saying they're 365 times bigger? Oh my god, either I'm very early on Chutes or these are the big players. So LLM, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like Kimi K2 Instruct, they don't say their pricing is a bit hidden, but yeah, this is a good, guys, I highly suggest screenshot this, dump the image in AI, literally just like this. Boom, dump it in AI like this and start doing, your research. Save it right here because this table is going to make you understand how small Chutes actually is and the room for growth is there. It is simple. I am betting on Bittensor Tau, and all of these companies are much bigger than Chutes. Like, I think my risk reward ratio to multiplying my money investing in Chutes, where it provides as good or better than these companies right here. What jumps out immediately? The valuations are absurd relative to Chutes. So Claude noticed that really quickly. Together, AI and Fireworks AI are each seeking 7 to 15 billion valuations. That's 200x Chutes' entire market cap while doing the same core business. Guys, we're in the good route. Chutes' product breadth actually rivals or beats most of them. Only Novita AI matches Chutes with everything else. Some of these numbers generally don't add up, and that's worth noting on camera. Novita claims 350,000 developers, but only 1.1 M revenue. So together, AI and Fireworks AI have 1 bill annual run rate and 800 million annual run rate. So open source model hosting is a real business, not a sub niche. So I'm investing in big businesses, big trends, big niches that are popular, while the company is priced at 80 million and serving all these tokens and all their internal metrics are going up. I think the sky is the limit for, Bittensor Tau and for Chutes. Like, my growth while holding this token in my mind is literally twofold. Either Tau 20x's and my share price is 10x without it not moving, or Chutes genuinely gains traction and is placed again deeply in the forefront as number one and, has its respect given where it's due, and the token price would follow. That's how I see it. That's why I'm accumulating and I'm not gambling into smaller subnets at the moment. And guys, would you look at this? I asked, okay, but what is the incentive mechanism of Together AI and Fireworks AI? Because why are they running open source models? They are a centralized cloud company. Fireworks doesn't even own the data centers. They rent GPU capacity and they mark up people on a unified front end as a business, and they serve 5 trillion tokens a day this way. Oh my god, I am shocked. That's why Chutes is going to be cheaper, because it is decentralized, and Together AI, they buy at least the hardware, but it is still in one unified warehouse with professional data centers, with enterprise networking. You rent a slice of their cluster on demand. So it's basically cloud GPUs, but it's not miners across the world like Chutes, which are random individual miners around the world, each optimizing their own costs. Like, do you think the Firework AI manager or Together AI manager is going to tell his staff and all these coders and infra maintainers to do their job really well and optimize all the code and optimize all the hardware and software so it works together very fast, efficiently, and they don't burn electricity? And would they grind to get the cheapest electricity contract? No, they wouldn't. But these Chutes miners, if they want to remain plugged, it's up to them. and the natural incentivization of game theory to get the lowest costs possible. And by default, if the miners are optimizing their costs, Chutes can have a low cost to charge for its API. So that's why I freaking believe in Chutes, the power of decentralization. So updated podium, these are the competitors if you guys want to study them compared to Chutes: Fireworks AI, Together AI, and Deep Infra. So they raised 100 mil, ARR 1 bill, ARR 4 to 15 bill. Oh, sorry, the valuation is 4 to 15 billion in 7 months. This signals that open source models are worth running, providing, giving to the public via API. So we are in the good niche and we have all the resources right here. It is super important you control the prompt so you get good types of comparison and information, but I am satisfied with this table. This just signals with the information right here and the OpenAI Anthropic valuations that we are extremely early. We are providing a very deep product base, much better or the same as these people, while being worth way less, being crypto native, and having the upside volatility. I am feeling good personally. So I think I'm going to leave it at that in terms of competitors and valuations. I am satisfied. Woo! So we are getting close, just these points right here. And yeah, let's keep grinding. Let's keep moving. This will probably be a 3-hour Chutes masterclass. I am freaking amazed, but I am loving every bit. I'm learning so much. Next up, Chutes achievements. We need to understand TEEs, how they achieved it, new front end. So basically what I've been loving about Chutes is that they have basically changed their whole front end website. And like I said, I really love just the general look of their website, the font, the colorways, the backgrounds, the way it's explained, the model images, the hovering mechanisms right here is one of my favorites. So this just shows that they're active. They're just doing something, whatever it is, good, bad, medium. They're being active. They changed their pricings as well. They had a $3 base plan as well. It's not there anymore. So they're bumping up. They're more confident. I'm glad to pay the plus or the pro. And yeah, I just love all their sections. We didn't have all these sections right here. Something they added recently. The whole My Account section is much clearer as well. You have a whole new feature that I spoke about, model routing. So even if you don't configure your code, but you configure it on their front end, as soon as your API hits the Chutes servers, they have background checks to see if you configured this on their web page to select all the different models you want to route. This wasn't around a month ago. And I actually had error 503s because Chutes was really overloaded a few months ago, and I was whining, I wasn't satisfied. And they came up with this, which, gave me, real good confidence that, their marketing is on point, their feature production, and, just their services are broadening all around. The usage logs are much more clearer as well. I did not have a front end like this one a few months ago, and it was always murky for me. How many requests did I make? How much are left for today? My window caps, my pricings, and all of that. And they even have automatic buybacks and burns for you who didn't know. Anytime someone tops up with Tau or pays with their credit card like me, they take a portion of that, I think whatever they can, as much as possible, and they burn it, and everything is verifiable via a link. So yeah, it's just all in all much cleaner sign-in methods. You can sign in with your fingerprint, with Google, with GitHub. It is extremely professional, even voice stuff. Yeah, I am just very, very satisfied. Their team was in docs a few months ago, so yeah, everything is amazing. And they also have a news article if you guys want to stay up to date with Chutes. We're gonna cover a few articles that I found interesting, when I was doing my research. So let's learn about TE right now. Boom. So let's just link this article because it probably talks about trusted execution environment, and I have a bunch of questions because all of the Chutes' models are TEE. Like if you click on one, TEE, another one, TEE, I want to understand the tech behind that. Is it something proprietary that John Durbin coded or implemented, or these are just GPU related technologies with NVIDIA and Intel that come with the GPU? So I said, okay, we are here, summarize this article. Actually, let me give him the link. Why does TE matter? Use cases compared to centralized labs logging us and watching our prompts, training on our data, and why is that seen as negative? Talk to me about John Durbin's passion about private AI and what that means. I actually already sent the link. Let's see what we learn. Because to be honest, guys, I'm at the same stage as you. I kind of know what TEE is. I kind of know that nobody watches our prompts in and out and our loggings, but I want to understand it on a deeper level. Why does it matter so much? Because Chutes keeps flexing that everything is TEE. So we need to understand that as well. Maybe it's going to help you with your offering. Example, if you see a law firm and you understand TE clearly and privacy is important for them, you might mention it and that might be your closing punchline for them. All right, so I was chatting a little bit with ChatGPT and I just said take into account all of this. It's just the chat right here. Plus this article right here, confidential compute on Chutes. It's a different article. I sent him all the contents because I really want to understand how difficult was it for Chutes to revamp their whole GitHub repo for the miners and validators to be able to work in a trustless environment and for Chutes' users to have confidence that everything remains private. So let's see, I asked him to generate me an image with a little bit of context to see like a visual board of what TE is and what Chutes did. This is way faster than, you know, making your own sketches or drawing Miro boards. So this is a cool way for me to get a visual output of what Chutes did or any subnet that I'm researching. So y'all can try that out if you don't understand a component. But yeah, the main reason I'm doing this is because it is extremely important I at least understand what TEE is, and I need to be able to simplify to the everyday Joe or the everyday person or enterprise. If I'm trying to sell them a Chutes service, I need to make them understand that, hey, everything you do will remain in your control. Nobody is logging you. I need to be able to compare it to centralized AI. What are the privacy issues that a real compliance firm might, face if they use traditional AI and they dump a bunch of things publicly or on servers they don't know what happens under the hood. So ChatGPT is really good to generate images. You can't do that on a Claude Code. And I don't even have a GPT subscription, but they still give me some free inference, so I use it. So if y'all want access to these articles, just go here in news and scroll down until you see the little lock right here, end-to-end encryption. I think it's this one, boom, December 23rd. And y'all can read on it, but as you can see, key examples, Chutes coded all of this that talk with NVIDIA GPUs and Intel TDX with their encryption technology directly inside the GPU. They made it work for miners and validators, so they've added most likely a lot of code inside of this repo for the setup pi, the miner pi files, and the validator pi files. So we can just plug a few commands on a terminal, connect to the Chutes gateway, interact with the Bittensor network, all in a trustless environment. Guys, this isn't easy. And I am pretty sure a few months or years ago, Chutes wasn't fully TEE. So, this doesn't seem like a small patch. It seems like it's something extremely impressive. So Chutes TE Private AI explained simply. 3 levels of privacy: public, shared, normal API, no special protection. Dedicated, you get your own reserved GPU. Better, but not truly private. Someone can still peek inside while it runs. Because guys, if you really think about it, if I rent a dedicated GPU on a server, I do not know the code of, the person that is providing that to me. So he could be logging it, he could be watching it when I decrypt things and send out prompts while the information is moving. If you're really advanced, there's a way to intercept that and use it for yourself, or breach someone's privacy or steal his edge or anything like that. Confidential TEE. Hardware seals the computation. Nobody can see inside, not even Chutes. This is truly private. The bottom line, private inference come down to runtime access. Who can see your prompts, outputs, weights, or memory while it's running? How Chutes TE works dumbed down. Measured boot. The system takes a fingerprint of itself when it starts. If anything is tampered with, the fingerprint won't match. The machine proves its fingerprint to the validator with a signed certificate attestation. So that's Gravel, I think. Here's the proof I'm running exactly what I claim. This is important because a miner could be saying, hey, I have an H200, here's your answer. But realistically, he's running a smaller model on a smaller GPU, so it's going to be slower, or your answer won't be as good. So they have methods to make sure miners have the real hardware they claim, and you're paying really for what you're using. Encrypted memory. CPU Intel TDX and GPU NVIDIA memory are encrypted with secret keys. Even physical access can't read it. Your prompt is locked before leaving your device. So boom, your prompt goes out, gets locked here. Unlocked only inside of here, which is encrypted, which is number 3. Then relocked before leaving. So this is probably you getting the answer. Nobody in the middle can see it. Computation happens inside a sealed CPU and GPU from these big companies. And the result is sent out sealed again, so people in the middle can't intercept it like hackers. Only you can unlock it. Hospitals run patient data through AI without risking leaks. Law firms analyze privileged case files safely. Companies protect proprietary code, trade secrets, and strategies. So this section is really important right here. If you kind of understand TE on a deeper level and know how to implement it with Chutes, why this matter is the section for you to start doing email outreach and building your offerings with these types of people: law firms, real estate companies, hospitals, accountants, people that hold financial data for clients or genomic data. Who knows? Anybody that needs privacy. So centralized AI on the bottom left, you type your prompt, sent over the internet in plain text. Oh my God. Imagine you sent like, hey, why does my wife has this type of disease? Now ChatGPT knows it. Or if you type something really cringe, ChatGPT, OpenAI, or whatever, they are going to know everything. Run it on their servers. They can see it, they can store it, they can log it, and give you back your answers later. This is insane. John Durbin's point on the bottom right, T only matters if the code workload is attested and you aren't just calling a prop AI lab, which 100% definitely store your data. Don't trust, verify, math, not promises. What Chutes build on the bottom: attestation and verification, cryptographic proof. So all of this is their prop code. Source orchestration, Kubernetes plus policies. Continuous monitoring, so watchtower challenges. So they're doing a bunch of things under the hood that test the validators, test the miners, check your GPU, check if you are fast enough, all sorts of very heavy computational things. They check your fingerprints. This is insane. Model and file integrity. So CFSV, Inspecto, CLAUDE.md. Network isolation, and GPU authenticity. So Gravel. So all of these little points you see on the bottom, you can read a little bit more on the key examples right here on the article, but I am extremely impressed. So built on world-class hardware. So they're piggybacking off of Intel TDX and NVIDIA, and Chutes installs the vault and runs the secure AI service. So in the little process right here, you see on the middle how Chutes works. I think what Chutes did with TE is them installing this vault in the middle right here between the input of the prompt and the output. Everything is sealed and only you can unlock it with a sealed fingerprint that you aren't really aware even as a developer. Everything checks itself automatically. So the part in red right here is what we don't want versus the part in green. If you can explain that to enterprises and high ticket customers, that might be a good value add. Guys, these aren't small words. Just to have that working, you need to massively update your GitHub repo. And that was my next point. Like if you go to Taoflute, you go to Subnet 64. This is just basically a giant repository of subnet information. It is awesome. Shout out to Towel Templar, by the way. Chutes is averaging as the biggest subnet on Bittensor, 600 lines of code per day. They're extremely healthy and they've committed a code change of 4,000 lines recently. We have subnets that are unknown that don't even average lines of code per day, and you have Chutes, the #1 subnet. They could be chilling on a beach farming emissions. No, they're in the office, they're working, and they're building on all of their repos. So if you go to insights and commits, like bro, they have been doing 22 commits, 24, 20. Like they are forking. They have 6 different repos. Probably John Durbin has a lot of contributors. Let's see. Insights, commits, so many commits, contributors, code frequency. Let's see. So if you type github.com/John Durbin, which is his GitHub username, it's one of the main developers for Chutes, you are going to see that this guy worked over 1,000 times just in the past year. On some days, he did more than 10 contributions. Guys, this is an indicator of, how hard the team is working. So y'all can see that he is very consistent, which, just gives more confidence related to what I'm investing in. The devs are active. They aren't disappearing away and siloing away on a yacht somewhere in the south. They are actually very passionate about what they're doing. So this simply indicates to me, and in another reason why I remain confident, even though their alpha token is down a whopping 85%, this seems more like an opportunity instead of a slow bleed or an exit scam. So this isn't a defining metric of price action, but is just something that supports my thesis when I invest in companies that crashed a lot. Even though the subnet price is crashing, they have amongst the highest average lines per day. This is something I watch closely. It is very important for me. If you go to their X, they update us so frequently. Like as you can see last week in Chutes, catch up with us. They're extremely present. They show off their work. They try to simplify it for everybody. And I really appreciate that because that is important in itself for the alpha token price. And recently, we've just had a Kraken listing during the low. So this is only going to spike up the volume. Traders are going to see what is this new token. We have algorithms tracking what is being listed on Kraken. Guys, this is a huge exchange and they've vetted only a few subnet tokens and Chutes was one of them while being down 85%. So it's been 3 hours I'm talking about Chutes and everything is clicking in the right direction for me. Chutes didn't just turn on TEE, they built a pipeline where a server's own hard drive won't unlock without passing a cryptographic hardware check. So they've coded all of that. Why you think their repo is so active? Because they're always cooking something. New features, new front end, new TEE, new back end, whatever the case is. Like these guys aren't letting go, that's for sure. Migrated their entire existing miner network, reconciled 2 different vendors, separate attestation systems, and lock down which code is even allowed to run. That's genuinely hard, ground up infrastructure rebuild, not a checkbox feature just to add the TEE. Next up, guys, we have even more products and features to go over because they're worth looking at. You can directly see that there's so much to talk about when it comes to Chutes compared to other subnets, but for some reason the price is pretty similar to the other top 5 subnets. Can I talk about other subnets for 5 hours in a video? I do not think so. I genuinely try to make this video as short as possible, but I can't. There's just too much value to understand and know. So the first one is Chutes Search. I was kind of like, what is the difference between this and this? Because it is very similar, a basic, ChatGPT just interface. So the first thing, if you go over to products and Chutes Search, it's AI powered search engine. So I went on it. It looks like this. You can type here. You can attach things. You can either optimize for speed, so fast answers, or quality answers that are more precise. Deep search, on, off, light, or max. But I was like, yo, what is the difference between using this and ChatGPT? Well, obviously there's a lot of overlap, but Chutes just always is thinking of ways to integrate Rails for people to use their inference, and this is one of them. You need an account, obviously, and this runs through the miners as well. But I asked the question, what is the difference between AI search on Chutes and Chutes chat? Because they have a Chutes chat as well. And what I really loved is that it directly fetched some articles so you can click and verify for yourself. And I clicked on one and it found the exact tweet, when Chutes announced the Chutes AI searches right here. So it actually spins up an AI agent in a sandbox that does research for you based off of your prompt. Every answer comes with citations, powerful enough to set as your default search engine, and it's open source, so it runs through a lot of different models. It drives business to Chutes. So if y'all want a decentralized, non-biased search engine, Chutes literally has it. This is very cool. Replace Google in your address bar settings, search ad, URL Chutes search, try it, boom. And the GitHub also is open source. So yeah, everything is insane. They literally have a search engine that's decentralized, powered by the miners. It is beautiful. I am loving it. And you have, like I said, lots of different modes if you want to save on tokens and usage-based credits. So what is the difference with Chutes AI search and Chutes chat? This is basically it. It's the same as ChatGPT. You won't have your links fetched. You're just gonna get an AI assistant and answers right here on the web app. So if you all want to do small talk, ideate, plan, and just role play a little bit, you're gonna get answers from lots of different models. I think it's with Chutes Auto. You can also do web search mode. So there's a lot of overlap as well, but it's just more railways for people to use Chutes. Maybe someone doesn't want to pay 20 or later down the line $100 a month if ChatGPT becomes really expensive. This could be a cost-effective option for similarly good results. So I kind of like it because it's just more railways to drive inference, statistics, token serve, token usage to Chutes, and for everyday people to use Chutes, because not everybody can open up a terminal, spin up API keys and accounts, and use models programmatically with agents and via API. So this is a very good example. As you can see, I was generating a ton of images with Chutes directly on here. But as you guys know, I'm a realist. I'm not a bulltard. For the Chutes AI search, I figured that you need an account and usage credits and actually pay for the inference that you're causing on these searches. So I left a challenging question right underneath the post. But why would anyone pay to search something? It's supposed to be free and unlimited because Google has what is AI mode? If you Google something, this is basically an AI answering you. It is considered AI powered, at least in my opinion. Doesn't matter if it's sandboxed or not. It's kind of the same, and they offer it for free, to me, unlimited. So this is something I need to understand when it comes to Chutes' AI search, because they are saying replace your Google search engine with this, which is a very big claim. Google is worth like billions or trillions of dollars. So I want to understand if I'm not getting something, but the product market fit doesn't click away right for me when it comes to replacing this. But yeah, as you can see, I'm very curious. I ask questions. I asked, Alex D Rocks, this guy, questions about Chutes. If y'all want Chutes Alpha, go visit this guy's profile. He's a freaking animal when it comes to Chutes. I learned a ton from him, and he recently sent me a very cool DM about one of Chutes' products, and he's actively giving me business ideas. So I appreciate that. Go follow him, go see his content about Chutes. He is a bit funny and bearish sometimes, but yeah, you can still draw a lot of value from his profile about Chutes. So yeah, guys, I ran a little prompt right here. So I sent the tweet over to Chutes about, this post right here, and I challenged the AI to make me understand why should someone, change their search URL because I wasn't understanding. I sent him the picture. It's just me being curious and a live demo as to how I learn and draw my own conclusions with AI fast. And basically, you don't, change your Google search engine for Chutes' AI search because Google's powerful enough. It's for a niche subset of people that want decentralized searching and not answers shaped by a company's algo and recommendations. And it's just a demonstration with what you can build with Chutes' API, which is insanely cool. And there's no ad tracking. So the value add is honestly small, but it's still a cool feature to get inspiration from, see the GitHub repo, and just know it's there, maybe use it once a while. But I am more interested in the parts where you can monetize Shoot, integrate it for people, switch over people's AI bills and things of that nature. So let's move on. Next up, we need to talk about the Parallax paper that John Durbin wrote. He did a massive research and development paper that he posted that made a lot of noise in the Bittensor ecosystem. It's related to decentralized training on Bittensor because we know that that is the ethos of Bittensor at the moment. And the previous subnet that was doing that was Templar before they rug pulled. As you can see, they started having really good price action, up 300%. And we understood that according to Parallax and John Durbin, Chutes might eventually in the future have a second incentive mechanism which relates to decentralized training. And that's why he posted that research paper. So we have ways algorithms to train these MOE models, and we'll be trying to get larger scale experiments going on soon. There's a lot of work to do, a new incentive mechanism, etc. if everything goes perfectly, one step at a time. So imagine if in a few months, Chutes releases a statement or an article that miners have two tasks right now. So subnets, they would split the emissions between the ones that want to do decentralized training runs. Obviously, Chutes will need another whole repo to accompany the miners and validators. But in my mind, if this pops off and we start training decentralized runs on Chutes, the price is going to 100% in a few weeks, in my opinion. So I'm betting on that as well. And there's a lot of articles regarding that, Parallax approach to decentralized training, which is proprietary to Chutes. So I found their actual YouTube channel. It's the first time I go on it. They have 14 subs. Let's watch the video together just to see what it is.
Hey, Vinny. Hey, Vince. You ever wonder why we're here? Constantly. Cosmic accident. Simulation. Some grand purpose will never fully... No, like why we're sitting here in front of a whiteboard. Oh. Parallax. Oh. Yeah. That's why we're here. Okay, training a serious model today means this. You need a giant building filled with racks and racks of GPUs. You need electricity, cooling, a place to put it, and time. The whole footprint. And a budget with a lot of zeros. So many zeros. So that's the problem. Data centers. And this?
Okay, so as of for now, talking about Parallax, because it's called Proof of Parallax, the title of the video, they're highlighting the main ethos and reason as to why Bittensor even started, because they don't want AI to be owned by a single entity, and they don't want the top developers to be locked to one service and API that would eventually cost tens of thousands of dollars. So he's highlighting that training AI is massively expensive, and this big data center is basically what OpenAI and Anthropic is doing.
Is the fix. Here's the core idea. We have Chutes. Chutes is already...
Okay, so right off the bat, if he says Parallax is the fix to that problem, you can directly ring in your ears that this is a big problem. AI is the future. Land, warehouses, electricity, compute are in such high demand. And we see on the right-hand side, Mac Mini, PCs, data, MacBooks. So I can directly see that Parallax is, I can directly understand that Parallax revolves around training with your spare computers at home in your basement, and everybody can eat a piece of the pie and become trainers, I guess. We'll see.
Decentralized network of GPUs, literally across the planet. Open models, billions of tokens a day. Parallax, though, on the other hand, is on the model training side of things. It can take advantage of that same decentralized network of GPUs for training. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you need an entire data center or that you need all of these gigantic GPUs. It's actually pretty wild what it can run. And here's what gets me. The hardware needed is not exotic. We're talking regular machines like gaming PCs, Mac Minis, and MacBooks, all coming together to do a piece of the work. And it's also designed.
Okay, so all of these smaller computers come together to do a piece of the work and train model parameters, train LLMs, exactly what Subnet 3 is doing or was doing. So Subnet 3 had a lot of success, and Chutes released a research and development paper. So they're eyeing it, they're aiming it. And if you look at their track record, their GitHub activity, their honestness, their seriousness, their consistency and commitment, I think it's a matter of time, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, and we'll have a second incentive mechanism on Chutes that is going to make a lot of noise. So I'm positioning right now at the lows when it's down 85%. And they're probably going to foreshadow it. The market's forward looking as well. So results might come in even sooner in terms of alpha prices.
So that none of the training data needs to be seen by any of these machines. We're talking low power machines all coming together to do something real. That's what makes Parallax different. This isn't even a theory. We have actually trained a 20 billion parameter model using decentralized GPUs across the planet for under $10 an hour. That's real. So let's look at this picture again. Most of the data center, gone. Most of the resource pressure, gone. And for public comparison, that's approximately 82% less resources and hardware needed to train the model with the same time target. That's the trick. Same ambition, way smaller footprint. And here's the part I care about the most. Giant data centers aren't just expensive. It's power, water, and land. Shrink the footprint and the pressure on these resources goes down. I'm not going to oversell it. This doesn't solve the climate problem. But less mega build-outs, less strain on the power grid for the same training, that's a future worth long-term. We believe open models shouldn't require $200 million and the permission of 3 cloud providers just to train models. And this?
It kind of makes sense. Like, just like Bitcoin miners, if a few mining companies, if a few mining pools are having all the hash power and you need to connect to a mining pool, eventually you can censor that. You can add governmental layers, KYCing, and all of that. So they are actually democratizing access to training AI, to having AI unbiased by whole different groups of people around the world, instead of asking permission to cloud providers to train AI. So
Is what the Chutes team has been working on.
Or as Vince put it, that's why we're here.
interesting. So they foreshadowed a little bit, but I really see this becoming much more scalable in the future, and this is something that could gain a lot of traction. Let's find the Parallax paper because it was a PDF. All right, so let's get a little bit more information for you guys that want to find the exact paper. Here it is. It's just a sum of complicated words and things I cannot understand. But could you believe it that this is written by John Durbin, one of Chutes' main contributors? Like, the guy released a serious research and development paper, as you can see, for things that are way out of my league. The best thing I can do is parse it with AI and dumb it down, but it is 36 pages long with all the resources. What subnet owners and developers are doing these types of things? Pre-training across fragmented compute is exactly what we saw in this 3-minute video. So let's just try to get a little bit more information quickly. So, just copy this, paste it right here, take the paper in, download it, Parallax paper, and dump the Parallax paper inside of AI so he can get context. Read the Parallax paper and John's tweet. Dumb it down for me to understand why it matters and how it ties to Bittensor's decentralized AI training runs. It's kind of the Bittensor ethos at the moment. Subnet 3 Templar was doing that and gained a lot of hype. Tell me reasons the Parallax paper makes Chutes' case more bullish, and is this something proprietary to John Durbin? Did he come up with these concepts? R&D paper. Parallax, the short version. Is it bullish for Chutes? Yes, so that's always good. The problem in one sentence. Training a big AI model needs thousands of GPUs in one building wired together. You can't spread it across the world because the computers keep having to stop and wait on each other. So this is where mixture of experts come in. And if your mixture of experts are spread across the world, that requires sending information across the world, and that waiting time kills the speed, output, and all of these things. Parallax fixes that. Instead of every computer owning the whole model, each one owns a small real slice and keeps a tiny cheat sheet approximation of everyone else's slice list. So it never has to stop and wait for others. That's the simplest way we can say it. 8 friends split a 256 topping pizza job. Each owns 32 real toppings and keeps a cheat sheet guess for the rest. Nobody waits on anybody. How it ties to Bittensor. Chutes today lets the world's spare GPUs run AI models. This is serving. Parallax is about letting those same scattered GPUs build and train new AI models. That's exactly what I was saying. Chutes might in the future have two incentive mechanism, which is going to draw a lot of attention and seriousness to that subnet, which is ultimately positive for the alpha token price. Because like I said, subnet 3 had a good run for itself. They had a video on X that they trained a 72B model, which made 2 million views organically. So if Chutes replicates that success, it is positive for us that are already invested and have their bags ready to go. That's the next frontier Bittensor has been chasing. Templar SN3 proved it's possible. Parallax pushes it further into today's best model architecture, MOE. Could this become a second Chutes incentive mechanism? Genuinely possible, not confirmed. So obviously this is speculation. How they can gain attention if they do that. Right now, Bittensor's training hype goes to subnets built only on training. If Chutes proves it can train too, Chutes stop being just the inference subnet and starts competing for that spotlight as well. So just more market share, more investors. Parallax's achievements trained a 20 billion parameter model on scattered GPUs, landing within 0.3% of normal data center run. So they had scattered experts, scattered GPUs, scattered task lists, and they were within 0.3% of the results of GPUs in one single data center cluster. This is insane. So being decentralized around the world with their coding methodologies and architecture didn't affect it that much. This is huge. It is going to cut costs by over 86% like stated in the video, so it is huge. Cut the GPU work needed to participant by up to 20x. Ran a first early test at almost 200B parameters to prove it's not a dead end at bigger sizes. What writing this paper signals about Chutes, because as you saw, the paper was extremely complex with mathematics, numbers, and it wasn't small. This isn't a marketing blog post. It's a real R&D paper with real math, real failed idea write-ups, and real honesty about what's not proven yet. Writing something like this takes serious PhD level ML system expertise. So this says a lot about the Chutes' team that wrote Parallax. Not something a typical crypto project team could fake. You can't even fake this type of complexity when it comes to Parallax. So these are just more signals indicating me that the Chutes team is extremely serious. They are passionate about decentralized training runs, and the future is bright for us holders. Guys, what the heck is going on? I just opened my X 2 hours ago and Chutes literally posted, as you can see, loss curve reductions, fully non-blocking decentralized training achieved within 0.6% of centralized quality. Oh my god, to our knowledge, a worldwide first. Dude, the Parallax paper was like 3 months old, and like I was speculating that they would, adventure in that second incentive mechanism route. They're literally doing it. I don't think it's a full incentive mechanism with the miners and all, but in plain terms, training AI across distributed GPUs normally forces a choice. Either the GPUs pause and wait to sync. This is the MOE expert problem we spoke about. So inexpensive, or you skip the sync and quality drops. We showed you we can have both. Dude, Chutes isn't only AI inference serving. This is, oh my god, this is, I think this is a sign for me to just buy more alpha. I just don't understand how lucky I am to have the patience to understand these things. Just read this tweet over and over again. We chose the hardest test case on purpose, recurrent models, sequential by nature. Oh my god, I'm just too impressed. To our knowledge, no one has published decentralized non-blocking training for recurrent architecture before. Parallax is the first. Man, I am freaking pumped. Let's go. Read more here. I'll be definitely saving that and reading the article. July 8th, literally today. If this isn't a sign, man, I don't know what it is. Next up, guys, if we look at video outline, we are here. A very important topic I wanted to understand as a Chutes beginner. So if you look at subnet 120, 95, 44, 51, some of them have a little bit of clients like Liam, they rent GPUs, Targon has some clients. Subnet 120 Affine is Const's subnet, but surprisingly, they are similarly priced to Chutes, like 0.07 compared to 0.06 almost. And the most shocking ones are Affine, which has a similar price, Actual has a similar price to Chutes, doesn't have minor incentive mechanisms turned on, and their emissions are currently blocked. They do not have a GitHub repo, and also Minos, both of them did like a 20x Actual in Minos. It has double of Chutes' emission share. It's priced at 0.5. They launched not long ago. I do not understand. Like, none of these subnets are making $5 million a year. Not even Targon, not even Liam. So I want to get clues and indications as to, am I investing in something that is much better metric-wise, business development, and business impact in their own respective niche, compared to these ones right here, because that would give me an indicator that Chutes might rocket back upwards to over 0.1 or 0.2 even. And I had the genuine idea of running that prompt for now through Chutes AI search just to see what it is. So I linked all of these subnets, GitHubs, and websites, and I told them, go through every link, fetch these things, and make me a table comparison as to how these subnets compare with Chutes, and do they have an active product or services? Do they have revenue, user base, and verifiable pages like Chutes? What is their revenue model? What do the subnets do in simple terms? Do they have large-scale enterprises or just a lot of revenue? Let me add what is their respective approximate TAM, so total addressable market actually. What do miners do in 1-2 sentences on each subnet? So I think this is going to take some time, so I'm gonna catch you guys later when I have the response, because I turned research on to max and quality, not speed, because I want the best possible answer. And yeah, this is a live demo of Chutes AI search. If I like the answer, honestly, I might start using it because I liked how it fetched me articles in the previous time I tried it. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. So I sent out the huge prompt and gave him the links. Like, it did serious work, man. 10 sources, warming up the sandbox, crawling pages. This is some serious value, man. Even drafting the report. I'm loving the UI until now. We have the sources. Let's see what kind of answer, comes up. All right, so this was a really bad take. As you can see, my experience with Chutes AI search, it felt really cool. It felt like it was doing a lot of work, but it was just laggy at the end and didn't output me the answer. As you can see, I'm in the Chutes chat looking for troubleshooting, and it was stuck at drafting report. Then I try refreshing, I try accessing the chat history, and it simply doesn't work. So this is my honest opinion about Chutes AI search. Just paste the same prompt right here and indicate to the AI that we need to compare the subnets. And just continue with Claude Code because we don't have time for stuff that do not work. And it's completely fine. It's a startup that's worth $80 million with no funding, that is a year old. These things are completely normal. I'm talking to Chutes chat. They're super responsive and they are probably going to, do something and get back to me. They are very, very responsive. That's what I like, at least. So next up, Chutes versus the 6 subnets. So the first one, actual ink, that doesn't have, a actual GitHub. This is their website. It's a 2-pager website, and apparently they still hide their code to this day, all while the price is at 0.05 almost without minor emissions, almost the same price as Chutes. Doesn't have minor emissions, doesn't have enterprise or users. It's mainly a narrative. Miners do not know what type of work they need to be doing and if it's going to work, if it's going to be buggy. So we're at this stage of the subnet and it's almost the same price as Chutes, raking in $5 million per year. Their narrative, however, is good. It lets you run AI models on your own computer privately, which is very important. Your keys, your cluster, your rules. You can also share your idle compute power with others for pay. So they're building a shareable private AI cloud. I think you can rent your spare computer if you have an old laptop in your house. Someone could somehow connect to it privately, which is already kind of what Chutes is doing with Cloud Private TEE. So yeah, there's a lot of overlap. It's still a narrative. And if you click on their GitHub, it doesn't work because they don't have one. So that's how early SN95 is. SN120, no revenue page, no enterprise clients. It's mainly a research and coordination layer subnet, not a product with paying customers like Chutes. It is the Bittensor co-founder subnet, so that is going to add to the hype. That's why people buy it. They believe in it because he's the main voice behind why everything started. He literally founded Bittensor, so people put trust in him. So right now the subnet is a little bit in a downturn, but I still feel like it is extremely early. It's hard to understand, but I still feel like SN120 is very early. It's mainly miners making money out of it and, some announcement and flexing on X of what Affine has achieved, but it hasn't, reached regular Joe developers that use APIs. Obviously, it's not the same thing. It's not API based, but the market cap isn't as big as serving AI and just making AI accessible to everybody and not just using closed source models. So no revenue page, no enterprise clients. What miners do, submit trained models into ongoing RL competitions, get scored and rewarded on performance. So it's extremely niche, still Bittensor native. The only people that use that subnet are mainly miners. So there's not much activity going on. TAM, hard to size, it's a research subnet. Score, we search score.com. So this is their website, making every camera intelligent. So this is important for sports analytics. It turns raw video into structured data. So this is pretty hard For example, an AI agent that is watching on camera, and if a plane backs up into the wrong place, if they're partnered with Score and their technology, it's going to know if the plane is at the right place, if it might crash, if an engine is burning, if it detects fire, if a criminal pulls out a weapon, it might detect it as well. Revenue page non-existent, product is live. Console scorevision.io. Let's see. So Gigabytes, biggest mover, detect crime, like I said, I didn't even know that, but I guessed it. Plus 240% versus baseline. Detect cricket delivery, detect football event, okay. So they have 6 active skills. You can detect crime, car wash, and things of that nature. You see the videos right here, and this is an example. That's honestly pretty cool. What is the market cap? Score, TAM, sports analytics plus camera security, a real sizable market, but Score hasn't shown numbers yet. It's mainly on Twitter if you guys want to track them. What miners do, run computer vision models that detect stuff, players, balls, events in match footage. Validators score them for accuracy. Enterprise client, yes, I would give that to them. If they sign someone, it won't be Joe Blow from the street with a single person agency. It would be large enterprises with warehouses, equipment, camera. So these are large contracts, but they haven't picked up steam yet. So this one is priced, so Score is priced at around half of Chutes. I feel is realistic, but Chutes still has the metal. Targon, they basically did confidential compute without compromise. So it's a cloud GPU by the Targon virtual machine. You rent secure TE protected compute. So very similar to the tech, Chutes implemented. Targon has it as well on the same types of NVIDIA and Intel chips. Product is live, yes. So the Targon TVM is live. You can SSH into one of their terminals over the cloud, and it is going to be fully private. So same thing for healthcare personnel, people handling personal information, genomic data, financial data, prop trading edges. Targon has a lot of overlap with Chutes, and they even raised $10 million. Dippy, a role-playing companion app, has 9 million users powered on Targon for privacy, so the prompts aren't logged. Migrated its entire backend to Targon. That's Dippy. TAM, confidential cloud compute, same lane as Chutes, direct overlap. And they have a lowest ask strategy where miners are strategically incentivized to place their price per hour for their GPUs the lowest possible. And it is priced a little under Chutes. So I think this is realistic, but Chutes is more general purpose and has more products and features still, in my opinion. So you see a bunch of X's here, no subnets that are priced similar to what Chutes is doing, even have revenue pages, enterprise contact lists, so many features, so many types of clienteles, and I feel like Chutes is one of the only subnets still to this day compared to these ones right here, where you can permissionlessly integrate all of their products and features for other businesses. Like you can sign contracts with these enterprise clients privately between your client and send them over to Chutes for a markup. Like I can do that with Chutes easily. Guys, let me give y'all a golden nugget as to generating infographic images like these that have highly curated and detailed information about subnets without errors. So I told Claude to generate me an image generation prompt that I can just copy right here and literally paste into ChatGPT for me to understand the TEE difference implemented with Targon and Chutes, because there's a lot of overlap and everything is right here in the picture and it all makes sense finally. It is important you understand these TEE buzzwords and nuances and how they fit into different subnets, because if you're a Chutes expert, you're trying to sell, like you need to understand the difference between the left and the right hand sides. You don't know what type of information is going to help you close a client, but you definitely need to be confident in your product. So for those of you who are a little curious, ready to paste image generation prompt, I'm going to try to show everything a little bit, maybe take a screenshot here and take a screenshot for this part. I basically pasted it into GPT as is and he generated me an image. Let me show you guys the main difference between TEE on Subnet 4 and TEE on Chutes, because as I was studying these different subnets, I just keep learning and it never made sense to me, the overlap between Targon and Chutes, but now I finally understand it, so it's good to know. Chutes TE on the top versus Targon TVM. Where does your privacy actually happen? So on the left-hand side is what we've been studying. You have your own computer, your own rack nerd VPS that you SSH into, and when you send out that PI file, you run it, and the code lines hit, your prompt travels through the internet via HTTPS encryption. This is standard. And when it hits the Chutes gateway, that's when a miner picks it up, and the Chutes proprietary TE implementation that the miner runs via the subnet code is the miner sealed vault, where everything gets decrypted, the AI thinks through, gets his answer generated, and returns it to you again via HTTPS encryption as well. So this is Chutes, so it's basically serverless. That's why they call it serverless. You never rent a server, your prompts travels normally, then gets sealed only once it reaches the miner's GPU. So it's the same TE hardware encryption, which are NVIDIA and Intel TDX GPU technology, but they communicate differently with the subnet and it has different proprietary tech. So subnet 4, the subnet that we just studied right now, has cool features as well. So option A, you literally rent a full box right here. I've tried it once. You buy a server that you SSH into. They give you a VPS just like when you buy, a normal server from Racknerd or any VPS provider. So you SSH into it, but when you SSH into it, the encryption component is totally different and proprietary to Targon in itself. So you are completely sealed on the right-hand side, top right, like the little guy right here. So if you download an AI model locally on Targon TVM on your terminal, you don't have to worry. Nobody's gonna know what you're downloading. If you start chatting to it, nobody's gonna know either, because that's their encryption technology. It is pretty pricey. You pay the miners per hour because you do rent their GPU and there's a CPU too. As you can see, miner cannot see inside, hackers cannot intercept because you are sealed inside with TEE tech and code that works. Now, there's a small difference. If you're on Targon and you don't want to download the local AI, the little robot emoji that we see right here, Targon also has API endpoints that you can hit, just to get AI inference for various different models. So you are going to be sealed in a box. You request, via Targon's API, and it's going to seal it like Chutes in the exact same way and come back to you on your sealed box. The difference is that Chutes displays your answer on your own computer or your unsealed VPS machine, but them it's fully end-to-end sealed. It's for different reasons. Both your workspace and the inference happen in sealed vaults, two locked rooms talking to each other. So the difference is that this setup, option A, is a little bit more encrypted, but much more expensive because you are literally renting a sealed vault 24/7. But Chutes, if you have your own private Chutes API endpoints for your enterprise, you're only going to pay when a miner turns on your model and is hot. So if you don't use it for a day, you won't be charged. This is handled on Chutes' side. So this is more cost effective. This is to run intense non-stop workloads for a few weeks, maybe testing something. So if you understand this, it's already huge. You already understand these two differences and you can sell better. Minos, decentralized DNA analysis. So we can see it's in the science and medicine field. Miners run genetic variant calling, finding mutations in DNA data and get scored on accuracy. So similar to Metanova and Neom. Revenue page, enterprise client, none. What miners do: run genomic analysis software, submit results, get paid by accuracy scores. So yet again, it is extremely early. We don't know if it's buggy. We don't know if the miners are gaming the incentive mechanism. On early stage subnets, it is very possible that miners that are very sharp find a lot of loopholes, and the subnet could be easily just iterating the miner incentive mechanism for years, without actually building a viable product. So this is the risk when it comes to Minos, but somehow it is priced at 0.05. So if Chutes is 80 mil, it's probably 60 mil. Very similar price, but no enterprise clients, no revenue pages. The miner incentive mechanism is probably very new, whereas Chutes, they have fully implemented TEE. We know it's private. We know that the API request that I make, the miner has the real GPU and is returning me a real answer from that real model. And it's 85% cheaper than centralized providers. TAM, precision medicine genomics, a real large market. This looks like a very early stage subnet, exactly as you suspected. So yeah, that says everything. Liam.io, the AWS of Bittensor, a GPU rental marketplace. So you rent GPUs up to 90% cheaper than AWS, Google Cloud, no KYC. So crypto native, very good value. This is their website. You can literally rent a GPU in a few clicks, pay with Tau as well. And on their X, I saw that they recently burned 2,500 Tau. This was literally revenue based. So 2,500 times the price of Tau. They had $500,000 of revenue based off of credit purchase for GPU. So this is a very serious subnet. Let's see how it's priced. So we can see that it is priced around 80% of the price of Chutes, and they recently burned $500,000 US of client credits being consumed. This is extremely impressive. We have to give the hats off to them. Product is live, so that is very good. Revenue stats, not so much, but we did find burn metrics as well. Miners provide raw GPU rental capacity. TAM, cloud GPU rental, huge market. I do agree that this is huge. Anything related to AWS and services like these has a very large market cap. So as you can see, this subnet was priced at 0.15 at some point. It is down 63% and it was down almost 75% at some point. It is making a recovery. So this is something that we're gonna have to have on the lookout, but the future is looking bright for Chutes. As you can see, revenue pages, X's across the board. Nobody has documentation like Chutes and real enterprise proof. Maybe only Targon with Dippy as one enterprise customer, but the rest were far ahead with a similar alpha price. Does this support is Chutes undervalued? Yes, and there's the sharpest version. So we have a market cap of 80 mil, while other subnets have similar market caps with almost close to nothing disclosed. Even Targon, the strongest peer here, which raised $10 million, sits at a similar or lower market cap than Chutes, but Targon has a narrower market cap compared to Chutes, which is the full suit as seen right here. Two flagrant calls. So Minos and SN95 early stage startups being priced at the same than Chutes. So either these are massively overvalued or Chutes is undervalued. I'm betting on a mix of both. Me personally, I am keeping it simple. The chart is not loading right now, but I'm looking to take profits around 0.15 or 0.2. I'm looking for a 2-3x plus the APY, or just holding Chutes medium term until the next wave of capital. That's why I'm seeing it, but it is important for me to have this table at least to understand that these subnets don't have as much advancements, but they have a similar price. You can research that with this table with AI and their websites and GitHubs. Boys, can you smell the light at the end of the tunnel, or actually can you see it? We have basically this part right here that is important to cover, and then a recap, and we're done. Seriously, man, it's almost a 4-hour long video. This is insane. I don't know if this video would go down in the Chutes' history book, but let's continue and not waste any more time. So if you go to news, you're gonna find this article right here. It is one of the most bullish articles in my opinion. Let's go through it. So in March and also February, they served almost 50% less tokens than usual and had 25% less revenue. And on the surface, that seems bad. But if you look on that right-hand side, the revenue per 1 million tokens for Chutes increased by almost 40%. And the revenue per GPU increased by almost 50%. This is huge. If you divide Chutes' total cash earned for that time period by the number of GPUs, that count increased from like $4 per GPU on average to 5.8. So it is insane. They're making more money. It's way less. They're making more money. It's much more sustainable. They're closer to the flywheel just because they removed bad actors that were abusing the system and removing, bad token usage. So as you can see, the blue line right here is their token served decreasing, which is seemingly bad, but all the green, yellow, and red metrics, which are revenue metrics and GPU, revenue per GPU, are all increasing. You can see it. I'm gonna try to zoom in. Revenue per GPU increasing. So for each miner, they're making much more money flowing into Chutes, going into buybacks and things of that nature. Total revenue was kind of flat, but it didn't drop as much as the tokens served. So they had 50% less tokens, but only 25% less revenue because the revenue per token increased. There's a difference. So they removed 20 billion tokens a day from sponsored free tiers on OpenRouter. They removed 10 billion tokens from free quotes that they give to people. They were losing on a ratio of 9-to-1 people running private Chutes. Maybe something wasn't automated and configured properly. I don't know, but they optimized that and that is gone right now. It saved them 10 billion tokens per day. And they had 3 or 4 malicious companies abusing the API calls per day system and getting a 324x multiplier compared to the pay as you go usage. Because we all know right now with Chutes, if you go over your API call minutes per day, you're going on usage-based credits and each model has a price. So you are going to pay the 10 cents in and 40 cents out for however much volume you want. That is the key point. And these bad companies were getting 324x their value for free. So Chutes was just giving away free inference and not pocketing the difference. This is huge. They made that tough decision. As you can see, the net loss that they were absorbing because their things weren't optimized, it is no longer an issue. They made it much better. Each token served is earning more revenue. So as you can see, revenue per token is the blue line. Yellow is most likely the inference, and boom, we see the revenue skyrocketing and back on the upwards. Each GPU is pulling in more weight. So if you divide revenue by GPU counts and miners, they're making almost $6 for every miner out there serving inference. This is insane. So they also winded down their unprofitable workloads and reduced their H200 counts. The fleet is now smaller and significantly more productive per machine. Each active GPU is producing more revenue. As you can see, daily revenue per GPU is on the upswing. And also, in the past, for Chutes to make even $1, they needed to serve 10 million tokens, and now it is down to 7 million tokens only. So the lower is better. So they need to serve less answers to get the same dollar. Efficiency gap, as you can see, boom, the revenue is kind of increasing even though they're serving less customers. This just screams that internal metrics are going up. I am very satisfied with that. In Q1 of 2026, 1.3M almost. No subsidy, no underwater deals, no abuse vectors, just real customers paying for real usage and a fleet that earns its keep. That's the flywheel. It's already turning. So as you can see, Chutes is turning the tide. It's steering the ship in the right direction, all while the alpha token is still crashing. Most likely because Tau is crashing. There's a bear market. People are scared of crypto. People think AI and crypto is a scam. And just cash is pulling out of the ecosystem. But their internal metrics, the team, the development, the efficiency is still on the rise. So this just makes me even more confident. I highly suggest you guys, actually read through these articles patiently and, stay up to date with Chutes because it is very important. We are here for the long term. We want to be Chutes integrationists, Chutes investors, holders, miners, everything. Not to mention, guys, Chutes is one of the oldest subnets, and if you go on Tau stats, their issued tokens 5.6 million out of 21 million, and their emissions are currently sitting at a solid 2%. So they're earning 2% of the total Tau in, and they're emitting a lot of alpha in and alpha out as well. So this is going to climb pretty quickly to 10.5 million, and people forgot that Chutes in itself also has a halving. So Tau is two layered. You have the macro Tau halving that we've had in December of last year because we reached 10.5 million issued, but Chutes is on its way about halfway there. So the Chutes float and the Chutes' alpha token is only gonna get more scarce in 1 or 2 years, and I'm packing my bags now. We're getting ready for that. The APY is going to drop by half. Payouts to miners is going to drop by half. Hopefully by that time, Tau will be more expensive, but it's something you guys often overlook. Chutes is going to have its own halving as well. It's going to be super bullish. And you can also spot how many tokens they've burned. Tau Stats calculates on chain. So 239,000 times the price of the alpha token, $3 million. If Tau literally 5x's, they've burned the equivalent of $16 million, making the alpha token even more scarce. They have automatic buybacks and burns statistics than payments. You can see all the live transactions and you see the heavy users topping up their Tau right here. As you can see, I have $2. So this is something pretty cool. 17,000 payments. Everything is transparent. Everything is verifiable. Name me one company that displays their revenue like this, that is completely private, no funding, is a year old, that is so precise like Chutes and doxes, exposes all their numbers. I haven't seen that. 75K a month, 1.3 M in 90 days. I don't know, the future is looking bright, and like they said in the article, the flywheel is coming. Now, I wanted to read this very long article. We're gonna parse it with AI, on video. I'm gonna read it afterwards myself. Just paste it into AI, and I said, summarize this, please. It's an X article someone wrote that's bullish for Chutes. What are the analogies? Assume I don't know what Hyperliquid did to finance, so explain both so I can understand the impacts and bullishness. If y'all want to know, the title of the article is Chutes is doing to AI inference what Hyperliquid did to finance. I don't know why I feel like this article is worth reading. It seems like it has good information and is impactful, and I want to understand. So let me just paste all of the contents. Oh my God. So after reading it through, Claude did a really good job to making me understand what Hyperliquid really did. Because I never watch other cryptos, to be honest. Hyperliquid, for those of you who don't know, is the 9th cryptocurrency at the moment, valued at a whopping $64 billion. So Tau is worth a couple billion, like $2 or $3 billion. We have Subnet 35 Cartha making its own decentralized exchange with the miners providing liquidity there. And all of our ecosystem is 3 bill. A decentralized exchange is worth 64 bill. As you can see, hype, branding, timing, and luck are the main drivers as to a crypto price. I genuinely believe Chutes and Tau are extremely undervalued. Yeah, it's only a matter of time at this point, to be honest. 64B for a decentralized exchange is nuts in my opinion. So first, what did Hyperliquid do? By the way, we're summarizing this article. Damn, I lost it. By the way, we're summarizing this article, so let's get... So yeah, this article summarized in my VS Code was a freaking... So yeah, so let's continue. So let's continue with this summarization because it was actually insane. First, what did Hyperliquid actually do? It's a crypto trading exchange, a decentralized version of Robinhood and Coinbase, where people trade stocks and crypto, but for trading contracts, perpetual. So you can trade with leverage and futures. before Hyperliquid, everybody assumed that you could never compete with Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, basically decentralized exchanges, because either it was slow, bad, unliquid, unsafe, scammy, rug pullable. Hyperliquid didn't raise VC money or hype a roadmap. They built a genuinely fast, good product and let people use it. It works so well, it became one of the most valuable protocols in crypto. And the S&P and Dow Jones indices, a real old school fashioned Wall Street institution, now licenses the actual S&P index for trading on it. So you can trade S&P index with leverage, I'm assuming like the QQQ on Hyperliquid. A massive traditional finance validates crypto moment. Traditional finance validates crypto. So the analogy is that everybody assumed decentralized race car could never beat the professional one. And Hyperliquid quietly did it. No marketing, just performance. And the analogy is that Chutes is doing the same thing for AI inference for its centralized competitors such as AWS, Google Cloud, Anthropic, AI, which are all worth like 5 trillion combined together. The big bullish talking points. Real organic growth, we saw that 700K users. They deliberately shrank to grow healthier, the flywheel volume to value article we just saw. So they reduced bad actors, reduced their inference just to have more profit. And a security stack and a security and privacy stack as seen. And a security stack, the author claims nobody else has all of it. Like, I really didn't know, but this article touches post-quantum encryption. Guys, Bitcoin bros and Bitcoin maxis are scared about Satoshi's coins and quantum computing and quantum compute cracking Bitcoin keys, and they're talking about freezing the network. This is a real thing, guys, and apparently, according to this article, I need to double verify, Chutes has post-quantum encryption. Like, I can't even imagine what this looks like. TE that we talked about, proprietary custom code to verify all the hardwares and GPUs and Gravel, all the hardware and fingerprinting to attest all the miners. That's what we spoke about. And the best part, if you look on the right-hand side, everything is open source. Like, I can't even imagine. All you developers out there can double verify what Chutes is claiming because it is on GitHub. Like, who does this much contributions for, the programming world and the AI inference world as Chutes? I haven't seen it. Very, very, very important. Listen closely, guys. The team can't cash out. No VCs, no CEO. The core devs own alpha tokens locked in smart contract. So before even conviction existed and SN3 rug pulled us, Chutes was so humanitarian that they locked their own positions in smart contracts, probably with long vesting periods. They physically cannot sell them. The only way for them to make money is the platform actually succeeds. That's about as aligned incentive as it gets. There's a buyback flywheel, like we mentioned. Everything is automatic with the top-ups and the credit card purchases. And there's a real valuation gap. Chutes trades at under 500M. It's actually 80 million, and the fully diluted is 300 million. And Hyperliquid sits at 60 billion. So let's say 60 billion divided by 300 million. Oops. So Chutes is 200 times smaller than Hyperliquid. Obviously, they're not competitors. It's different niches, but this is just for you to grasp how small is Chutes. It is 200 times smaller than a decentralized training. It is 200 times smaller than a decentralized trading platform. It's not the same thing. We're comparing apples to oranges, but it still makes you grasp how small they are compared to centralized people. Compared to centralized competitors that we saw earlier. So that was it for this article. I highly suggest you guys, save this URL link and visit it. Maybe you can read it for yourself. There's a bunch of pictures and I'll do it right now just to learn a bit more. Next up, I wanted to talk about a community contributor, Alex D. Rocks. This guy, like I said, he's a beast. He built something called Proof of Chutes.xyz, I believe. Oh my God, site can't be reached. So this guy built something called Proof of Chutes, which is basically an aggregation of the people tweeting about Chutes. So it's a great resource page to see who is helping Chutes AI grow on X. You can type your own handle, and there's indexed users with rankings. Let's see if I'm here somewhere. I am number 19, Tau Templar. So, let's talk about him. He posted 227 times about Chutes, and you can hover over and have a quick read on the tweets he made, view them on X. It's a really, really good indexer. I think it scrapes X as well. It is insane. Like, this guy's an animal when it comes to Chutes. So if y'all want to stay up to date, see different types of opinions about Chutes, how people write and their writing styles, and have different types of it's just gonna give you a decentralized refresher on what people say about Chutes, and it's gonna help you formulate your own opinion. I just wanted to lay that resource out there. Since we're in here for the long run, we need to learn as much as possible. And boom, ladies and gentlemen, I just added the last X for part F. We've covered the 3 talking points. Yeah, I'm just looking at this video outline file and literally pause the screen. This is everything we've spoken about in the past 4 or 5 days. I think this was one of the craziest filming sessions I've done in my life. Hopefully this video will go down in the Bittensor books, in the Chutes books. It is going to be on all platforms. But yeah, I'm gassed. It was so fun. And now I'm just ready to redigest everything I've learned and start, integrating Chutes business ideas, building email flows, building my offering, building a landing page, running some ads, signing a contract with a few clients, something like that. But guys, this was one of the most insane filming runs I've done in my life. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you made it this far, we covered so much. We talked about the subnet architecture, the miners. We went deep in the files. We talked about Chutes' website sections and all the little tools that are needed to be understood. We talked about privacy, chips. We compared Chutes' market cap to other cryptos, other businesses, other subnets. We laid out an investment and holding thesis at least. We understood why the alpha price is priced as such. We looked at company internal metrics, roadmaps, achievements, advancements. So it was a lot to take in, but this is the whole point of my channel. It's not supposed to be easy, because what comes easy, everybody can do, and it ends up being a waste of time. I am real with you guys. I have been swapping a lot of my subnets for Chutes, and I plan on to becoming a Chutes expert, a Chutes integrationist. And I'll be sharing my journey much more in live and in detail in my Discord, figuring out what I build, landing pages related to Chutes and what they offer, how I sign my first contracts. I am looking to achieve that in the next 6 to 12 months. And I'll be sharing that in Discord, my journey to making money with Chutes. I am so happy that I put myself through this tough 4 or 5 day journey. I locked myself in my room, and I can provide to you guys a 4-hour masterclass about Chutes. So let me know in the comments down below, did you enjoy it? What did you learn? Is there something you generally don't understand? What would you like me to cover in the future? But yet again, thank you so much. If you've made it this far in the video, I'm going to repeat it. You are, going to go far. You aren't like the rest of the world who has a 3-second attention span. So the people who are successful in this day and age are the people who can close their tabs and put in focused work. Once you go over that obstacle to, focus for hours and hours on end, it becomes addicting, and you just separate yourself from the rest of, society. That's the simplest way I can explain it. And my journey to increasing my knowledge, my IQ, and my value to the world is through Bittensor. That's why I started this channel. So Yeah, subscribe. A whole lot went into this video. I hope it goes down in the Bittensor content creation books. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.